What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? I almost canceled this live stream today because I don't know, I just had a rough night. Had a really rough night, but I said I'm not gonna miss. That's not what we do. Anton, what was your rough night like? Why was you having such a rough night? I ain't even gonna cap. I had some flaming hot Cheetos yesterday, and that junk messed me up. I said no more ghetto snacks, no more rap snacks, no more flaming hot Cheetos, no none of that. I gotta put that junk up, bro. I don't think I'd ever been that jacked up before. I don't think I've ever been that jacked up. Straight up, Treese. I was out here feeling. You said Takis is healthier? Nah. I can't do it. What up, OG Rihanna? Listen, man, they punished me. It punished me. I was on the flow. I said, dog, I can't do this. I can't. Kathy, I couldn't do it. I had some flaming hot Cheetos last night. Yesterday was the worst night that I've ever had in all year. It was rough. How was we able to eat that junk when we was younger? And maybe just because I haven't had it in a long time, but how was we able to eat that when we was younger? You see how I didn't even get the live stream set up until maybe 10 minutes before I just went live? Man, I was toe up last night. My stomach was rough. I said, I'm not eating no more flaming hot Cheetos. And you know what the worst part about it is? Is that I actually have I got a doctor's appointment today. So I had my concierge doctor, after we get done live streaming, is supposed to come here. And so I got my regular doctor's appointment, which reminds me, and I'm going to keep on. Dog, I thought we were going to have a makeup show. We didn't miss last week, Sean. What are you talking about? I didn't miss no days last week. If I was going to do a makeup show Saturday, it was just going to be extra. It wasn't going to be because I actually missed the show. So no, I mean, If you're saying it was going to be a makeup show, it wasn't a makeup show because I didn't have any shows missed. It was just going to be because, you know, we was just going to do something extra. But I was locked in writing scripts and stuff like that. So it was a I did say I would stream on Saturday, but it wasn't going to be because I missed. But I have a doctor's appointment today, which one of the things I want to say to y'all is make sure this is all going to change. Everything that you see here, as far as this show, it's all going to change. Make sure that you guys go and get your doctor's appointments. I know that we try to act like we tough. I know that we think that we can't, as men, we try to put that stuff off. But go and get your doctor's appointments. Stop being slow to act. Guys, I have doctor's appointments at least twice a year, right? Sometimes 3 times a year. I have a concierge doctor. I know that we had a show previously where we spoke about healthcare and concierge doctors and stuff like that. Power is out in the building. Give me a second. So get y'all doctor's appointments. All right. I stay at the doctor. I stay making sure that I got my health A1. Sorry, I'm getting calls from I'm getting calls. That's the beauty of doing the morning show is that y'all getting this in real time live. So I be dealing with stuff. I just got off the phone with my daughter. We was making big plans. I love that girl so much. I love that girl so much. We got some great gifts that we putting together for her. Just being honest, it's easy to forget to make doctor's appointments when you're in the zone chasing a bag. No. That's why we got calendars. That's no excuse. Make the appointments. A lot of times you can set the appointments after you do your appointment, and you got to make sure that you go to the doctor. A lot of times we don't want to go to the doctor because we haven't been doing what we're supposed to do, and we don't want to be held accountable. Yes, it is, Onaka. So I was talking to her, and I may not. Let me actually see what the calendar is for her birthday, because I don't know if I'm gonna stream that morning, or if I do stream, I'm gonna stream in the morning and then go. Okay, so her birthday is on a Friday. That's dope. Cause her birthday gift is gonna be different this year. And so we was talking about it, and I said, we gotta your birthday gift is gonna be different. She said, what? I said, we gonna have to go down and take care of business on your birthday. And she said, oh, Dad. She said, well, it's a good thing. I said, because you used to playing games. I said, now we got to do things differently now. And she said, I already know what you want to do. And I said, what? And she said, you want to, transfer different stuff into my name. I said, yep. Do you know what the biggest blessing is? You know what the biggest blessing is? The biggest blessing is knowing that your daughter or your kids, whatever you have respectively, will never, ever, 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 ever need a place to stay. Yep. So this house that I've been built, well, refurbishing and redoing, because I've already owned it for a long time because I had already anticipated it being hers. I recently got new windows, got new everything in the house. So it's really beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. All of that is hers. So all of the new windows, everything, right? So recently got new windows, new all of that, and it's a beautiful house. We picking out the tile today. They supposed to be meeting to pick out the tile, doing all of that stuff. So this one right here, this is her birthday gift. That is her birthday gift. So the day she turns 18, we go down to the deed office. We transfer it over into her name. And she has a beautiful home. We add her on as a authorized user to our cards. She has 2 cars. She'll have our credit history. And then I also am transferring the investment accounts. So since she was born, I've been putting money up for her in her investment accounts, and then I'm gonna transfer that over to her for her to be able to manage. And this is what let me tell you how dope she is. So we talking, right? And we having conversations, and we talking about what the plans are when she turned 18 and stuff. And she says, I don't want to do that. And I said, what? She said, I'm cool with the house. She said, I don't want the accounts yet. And I said, why? She said, I don't feel like I'm ready. She said, I just want to keep doing what we've been doing. I just want to be a kid. You know, I know I'm going to be able to go to college. I'm going to college locally. And so I'm going to be right up the street. Because literally the house is like right up the street from my house, right? From me and Rita's house. So, and she like, I don't want to touch the money. I just want to keep doing what I've been doing. So I'm thankful. I'm very, very thankful that she won't have to go through the same BS that we went through when we were growing up. It's a video of a woman that was speaking. Hold on, let me see if I can find that video real quick. Ain't this what we work for? I'm gonna see if I can find it really quickly. Because I kind of want to just chill and just kick it with y'all and talk about different stories today. I don't really want it to be no agenda. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Give me a second. Here it is. Let me play this video. Y'all want to just kick it today so I can get y'all through y'all work day? It's uploading. Give me a second. It'll be in the cloud. So. While that happens, let me go ahead and let me read some of these cash apps and these super chats. or these Cash Apps first, and then we'll go from there. All right. I want to give a shout out to Michael Carroll. Says I can't play ball, but I'll race your car. We can race too. Oh, we definitely can race. We can get it in on the cars. Which one y'all want? You want the Hellcat or you want the 911? Bro, you might have to race my daughter before you race me. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you, bro. You might have to race my daughter before you race me. I don't think you can see the M3. I honestly don't think you can see the M3. I don't think you can see it. But let me play this video. Let me share this video with y'all really quickly. Because I was looking at what different people were saying, and I want to share this video.
This thing that a lot of people don't tell you about having kids that you are not quite financially ready to support. Throughout my life, when I tell people I can't afford a kid, they'll be like, oh, a lot of people have kids they can't afford, and it inspires them to work harder, and they figure out a way. Here's the thing they don't tell you in those situations. For those people, having a kid was the dream. So they don't mind like maybe getting jobs that they do not even like to fund their child because they're funding their dream. But for some people, what they would have to do to fund the child would mean giving up their dream. Take me, for example. I do stand-up comedy. The gigs can be unpredictable. I don't mind because I only have to support myself, right? So I don't have to live on much. If you added a kid to this equation, I would immediately have no choice but to go get some office job that I can't stand to make sure this kid would be fed and taken care of. And that job would be in direct conflict with my dream. I wouldn't be able to travel for stand-up gigs when they came up. I wouldn't be able to write as much as I am right now because I'd be at this job all the time. And then I would start resenting my kid because they got in the way of my dream. And that's why I think it's so irresponsible when people pressure people to have kids who can't afford it by being like, well, you'll just find a way. Maybe they don't want to find a way because the way stands in the way of their dreams.
I'm with it. Now, some people, for example, Terrible People Podcast is saying people are absolutely disgusting and selfish. I think that people are absolutely disgusting and selfish. I don't disagree with her at all. I think that the worst thing that somebody can do outside of being a pedo, I heard there's people out here that's being accused of talking to underage girls, but I'm not going to speak on that. I'm gonna just see how everything plays out. I think that the worst thing you could do outside of messing with an underage person, in my opinion, hello, how you doing? Okay, all right, okay, I appreciate you. Okay, thank you. All right, bye. Hey, where was I? Oh, I'm 100% in her corner. I'm 100% in her corner. I think that the worst thing that a person can do is bring a child into this world. And when I said it on Dr. Phil, when I said it prior to that, when I had conversations and I said, I think it's incredibly irresponsible as a poor person to have children, everybody looked at me like I was crazy. Everybody act like I was off. Everybody wanted to be like, oh man, no, Anton, what are you talking about? And you know why? You know why everybody thought that I was crazy? Because we've been trained to operate in poverty. We've been trained to be in a rat race. We've trained ourselves And our parents have passed on that generational trauma, and the people before them have passed on that generational trauma. And we've trained ourselves to have to depend on food stamps. We've trained ourselves to tie ourselves to the federal government. It's people that don't even think you are a real human being if you've never been on food stamps before. It's people that act like, oh man, you completely unrelatable if you haven't been in poverty before. We're not even conditioned to believe that we deserve anything. We're not even conditioned to believe that we need to give an inheritance. If you don't have a life insurance policy to pass down to your, when you pass away to your kids, then we're trained to believe that that's not supposed to be something that we're supposed to do. Oh man, we're trained to think from a poverty perspective. It's, in my opinion, at this point in 2026, for anybody that's been here for more than 2 or 3 generations, you should be in a position. You should be in a position when your children get of age, at the very least, you should be able to pay for them to go to college. That's what the new standard should be. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of us having this poverty mindset. Everybody got to be dusty. Everybody got to be hood. I'm not saying that you got to drive the best car. I'm not saying that you got to live in a mansion, but I am saying that we need to stop operating in debt. We need to stop saddling our children with generational debt that they're going to be paying for the next 30 years just so they could be a person to say that, oh, I got a college degree and I'm the first person in my family. That was a mistake. A lot of us are first generation people to go to college, or the first people to even, some people are the first person in their family to even graduate high school. And so because we wanted validation from the system, and because we were operating out of ignorance, we said, well, listen, you're going to have to be the first person to do it. But we never had no money to do it. And they wanted to skip steps. They didn't want to go to community college. They didn't want to look at opportunities and see where it is, junior college or something like that. You know what we did? We jumped straight into the big leagues and we said, no, we're going to do that. But they never gave us the blueprint because they never did it before. So guess what? Now you had a second generation of people. You had a second generation, because college ain't bad. You had a second generation of people that went into a new phase of ignorance, right? So what they did was we skipped all of the community college. We jumped right into major universities and private institutions. We went out of state because we wanted to get away from the places that we were born at, right? And that cost us more because out-of-state tuition is more, private college tuition is more. And then we picked liberal degrees because we just wanted to get the degree. So now we had another generation of trying to figure it out. Okay, so now what's the excuse? Now we know where we come from. Cool. Beyond slavery, beyond racism. We should no longer be Democrats. We are a conservative people, and we should be operating based off of a Republican perspective because we don't need the federal government in our business and to tell us what we need to do. We need to get jobs. We need to make sure that we go to school, graduate, make sure that we go to college, but it shouldn't cost us our lives. Unless you're going into a certain degree field, minimize the amount of money that you're taking out in student loans. Unless you're becoming a surgeon or a doctor, do all of this stuff. Hey, maybe you need to go and find a job where they have tuition assistance, whatever, right? So now we have the information. So now we need to throw away the excuses. And I'm not against somebody that says, I'm choosing not to have children because I still want to focus on myself. I think that that is a good thing. I have a problem with people that say, I want to have children, or I'm going to have children out of wedlock, or I'm going to have children and I'm going to put them behind the 8 ball because I'm going to do the same thing that my mama did, that my grandmama did, and that my great grandmama did. It's a different time. You're not cool being on government assistance and living in Section 8 housing by choice because you know better. And when we know better, we're supposed to do better. It's not okay no more. We need to start shaming people for making bad decisions, knowing better. You're not mistaken when you have a child in 2026 and beyond. You're not mistaken. You know too much. If you have a child out of wedlock in 2026 and beyond, you're negligent, in my opinion. You're negligent. Yo, mom, to be honest, your mama knew better and your grandmama knew better, but they just did it because they thought that it was cute at the time. You're negligent. You're negligent. So now they want to sit here and say, oh, man, because I'm always ahead of my time. I'm always ahead of my time. Even the talking points that I make on the internet. Hey, having children out of wedlock when you're poor is bad. Oh my God, I can't believe he's saying that. Hey, being a single baby mama by choice is bad. Oh, I can't believe he's saying that. He hate women. No, I don't. I'm just ahead of my time. And by the time you catch up, I'm on the next stuff that I'm going to be talking about, that you're going to be criticizing, that you're going to come around and see for yourself. Because guess what? Anything that you wouldn't want for your own children, you shouldn't want for yourself, and you shouldn't want for the culture. You shouldn't want for yourself, and you shouldn't want for the culture. And we don't put the same parameters and requirements on people. This is what make it bad. We don't put the same parameters and requirements on the community, right? Guess where we do it at? Oh, we're going to cook today. We're going to cook. This might be one of them days where you just shouldn't have missed, because we're going to talk about a lot of different stuff, and I don't have no strings on me. Guess where we allow for people to do it? Relationships. We so degenerate. We are such idiots. We think that somebody that has broken relationships qualify to be able to give you relationship advice. Somebody like me that has been successfully married for almost 22 years shouldn't qualify. Been able to keep my family together regardless of what everybody else is thinking, right? But we allow for people to have a conversation about children that they never had a marriage or raised children successfully. You can have a baby mama here. You can have a chick that hates you over there. You could be struggling in family court right there. You can owe child support right now. But you qualify to talk about relationships and children. How? Why don't we have the same, when you go into a job, you can't just go in and get the job because you think you know what you're doing. You got to actually have the real experience. You got to have the degree. You got to have the knowledge, the acumen, and you got to be able to demonstrate that inside of the interview. As a matter of fact, you got to qualify yourself in multiple different rounds. If you really get into it, you got to qualify yourself in multiple different rounds before you even get into the job. And then you're still an at-will employee. Anybody can just come through and say whatever they want to say. I'm the only person on the internet that showed the receipts in every aspect of my life. I've been showing receipts since I got here. Receipts on my W-2, receipts on my 1099s, receipts on my 1040. I show my bank accounts. I show my spending. I show my business accounts. I actually got the receipts when it comes to my real life. You know my real name. We don't even know these niggas' real names. Everybody is going by an alias. You'd be hard-pressed to get a person to actually have a profile picture. So now when I come through and I say, hey, listen, we need to treat our daughters, because again, it's very, very, very easy for somebody to say what everybody else is wanting them to say in order to gain an audience. Oh, I'm black. I'm pro-black. I'm pro this. I'm pro-America. I'm pro this. I'm pro that. How? You're not even married to a black woman. You like other women. You don't even like women in the United States of America. Fuck black women. You don't even like women in the United States of America. How you going to be pro anything if you're not even doing it? I'm pro-black. You don't even like your own sons and your own daughters. You're not even a real father. You're not even participatory. You can't even manage your own household. The word of God says Be faithful over little, and then I'll make you ruler over much. If you can't manage your own household, how you gonna tell another nigga what to do? If your kids don't like you, if your baby mama don't like you, if you couldn't keep your family together, how you gonna control the community and help niggas get themselves out of the situation? The fuck is we talking about? How? Why is we taking advice from people that's not qualified to give us anything except for a bad fucking joke? And we even going back to the jokes and saying, you know what? That joke wasn't as funny as I thought it was because you talking about fucking on a chick in a different country that's 13 years old. How? How are we sitting here listening to people that cannot give us anything? Their life is not a reflection of it. It's not a reflection of it. No money, no family, no success, been on this earth for 60 fucking years and ain't got a dime to their name and is still dependent on the internet in order to survive. The fuck is we talking about? Who y'all taking y'all advice from? I'm just asking. When did we get to the point to where we start validating ourselves through fucking celebrities that ain't got no receipts on how they can do something successful? You think I would take parenting advice from Magic Johnson? No, I would take passing advice. The nigga, Magic Man, the Magic Man. Yeah, I could take business advice from Magic Johnson. Oh man, you know what? This nigga's the GOAT. He know what he doing. He way better than anybody we'd ever seen from a business perspective. I take business advice, basketball advice, networking advice, but we got to learn how to separate the shit. No, I wouldn't take parenting advice from him. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't take parenting advice from Magic Johnson. I wouldn't take parenting advice from Dwayne Wade. I'm just being honest. I just wouldn't. Would I take advice on how to persevere, how to overcome an injury, how to be one of the greatest basketball players? And if he hadn't suffered the injury, he could have quite possibly been rivaling in the same boat as some of the Kobe's and all of that stuff. Absolutely. I think that he is one of the best basketball players of all time. But I'm not taking parenting advice from a man that paints his nails. I don't want to take parenting advice. Why do I have to sit here and listen to a celebrity just because they're popular about shit that they're not qualified to talk about? That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is we have to do better. And I would be willing to bet that we got a lot of people in this chat. I would be willing to bet that there's people in this chat right now that I want to take parenting advice from before I ever take parenting advice from these celebrities. If I want to get basketball advice, I'm going to get it from them. If I want to get parenting advice, I'm going to probably get it from you. Because you qualify. If I want to take discipline advice, I'm going to get it from a guy that hasn't had any children at all and has not ever got caught up by a woman. That's discipline because he's been able to navigate through this life being successful. And even though he may not have children, I have a lot of respect for that man because he has been able to avoid putting himself in a self-inflicted wound in a difficult situation with a person that he shouldn't be with. That's discipline. You understand what I'm saying? We got to do things differently. We have to do things differently.
Want to find a way because the way stands in the way of their dreams.
I got into an argument with someone because I said that you're either selfish, male-centered, or both if you decide to have a child while you're single and while you're broke. And I didn't quite understand why people was taking offense to that because give me a good reason.
I'm going to read Super Chats and Cash Apps in a minute. Give me a second. I know I kind of skipped it because we kind of deep dove into this.
A good reason why it's a good idea to have a child while you're broke, while you're single, while you're unstable, period.
And it ain't no good reason. There is no good reason at all. There is no good reason. There is no good reason whatsoever. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's see what we got going on. Let me get back to these cash apps real quick. Mike That Dude says, I appreciate the value. Shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. He's been one of the most logical, supportive people that I've seen in my entire life. Spencer Campbell in the building. Shout out to Spencer Campbell. I appreciate you. Messy Mathematician. What up, Messy? Says, good morning, Mr. Internet. I wonder what everybody is going to talk about if you're not trending. Any ideas, Mr. Internet? Yeah, you want me to give y'all something to talk about? All right. I'll give y'all something to talk about. It's a Tuesday. It's nothing happening on a Tuesday. Nothing is trending today. So I guess I'll give y'all something to talk about. Tree said no. All right. Well, Tree said no. Tree said nah. All right, then I'm not gonna do it. Then I'm not gonna do it. Tree, I'll let the audience determine what's gonna happen. Shout out to Messi. Laymar on there says, AD, they mentioned the Corey Holcomb situation regarding you on the Ricky Smiley morning show, basically calling Corey a troublemaker. I haven't seen it. What is it on the internet? Did these OG Wednesday night vibes? Well, maybe that's what I need to turn some of this into. It's Wednesday OG night vibes because I get to tell y'all what was going on. Diz says you're cooking today, AD, and can you bring back the salary budget review segments? Okay, what? I'm letting y'all determine how the show go today. I appreciate all of the content it gets me through today. Salary budget review segments. What do we do that on? CNBC? Angie, I promise it's coming. I did a live stream yesterday on Patreon. If y'all have not tapped into the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I did a live stream on Patreon. We did Block Club. Man, I showed y'all all the receipts. I showed y'all checks. I showed y'all leases. I showed y'all completion projects, how much I make, what my strategy is. Man, listen, Block Club and Stock Club and the live streams of the Patreon is going crazy. I re-uploaded it for y'all to be able to rewatch it, all right? I re-uploaded it. It's chock full of information. It is chock full of information. I answered questions from the people that was watching it live. If you have not seen it, go and check it out. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I am literally giving you the blueprint and I'm showing you the receipts of what I'm doing. Lucas says, I see everyone turning on Corey and saying he was wrong with the Anton situation. Niggas double talking now. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy how that's why you just got to be patient, man. That's why you got to be patient. That's why you just got to let people do whatever it is that they do. It's not over. It's far from over. It's not over. But let me say this too. I want to call it defrauding the government. I'm gonna look into that. Let me say this too. I want to speak to O'Shea Duke Jackson. All right. I want to speak to O'Shea Duke Jackson. And I'm not going to speak to O'Shea from a negative perspective. And I want to tell y'all why I'm going to speak to O'Shea Duke Jackson right now. All right. Because O'Shea has probably made no less than 50 videos, right? But let me give you all my thoughts on O'Shea. Because I know O'Shea likes content to be able to create content for and all of that. And so I'm going to give him some content. Because I actually, man. When me and O'Shea first became familiar with each other and we connected, I had so much love and admiration for O'Shea. O'Shea was one of the rare people that actually had my phone number. And we would exchange, I guess, pleasantries, or we would talk occasionally, not that often. And I think that we bonded a little bit more around the time that Kevin Samuels passed away, because it was a time where everybody that had any type of relationship with Kevin whatsoever, we kind of came together, right? Or we kind of seen things a certain way. And I even took some insight from O'Shea. Like, we had a conversation and he was telling me some things about how he monetizes and he does his YouTube channel and stuff like that. And I implemented some of that stuff. And I even shared it with some of you guys inside of some of the mastermind sessions and stuff. And it kind of broke my heart because, and let me tell you why. It wasn't that we've ever met in person before. It wasn't. But it's certain people that you interact with over a period of time that you kind of have a greater affinity for, a greater level of respect for, because you've had moments in life that was meaningful. Kevin Samuels' death was meaningful, and he was meaningful to all of us, a lot of us anyways. The few conversations that we had on the phone, we've never had a problem whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So on one hand, I was cool when he was making videos because I understood it, right? I understand content. I understand the game. I understand what come along with it. I'm cool with that, right? But see, the problem that I had and what broke my heart is that because you know me, at least you can be objective. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've never said anything negative to him whatsoever. I've never said anything bad. Like, I can have my opinion about something and say somebody is wrong, but I'm not coming after him, and it doesn't affect me at all. So the breaking my heart part was personal. It wasn't professional. Nothing slows down from a financial perspective. My life is great. My family is great. Everything is awesome. So whatever it was that people was trying to do or what they thought that they was doing, because in my honest opinion, I believe that they picked the wrong side, obviously. And it's so funny that it played out that way, because I believe that O'Shea is trying to save face right now, if I'm just being objective. And again, I don't have nothing negative to say about him. What hurt me was the fact that he wasn't at the very least objective. When you have my phone number, he could have called me, we could have live streamed, and this doesn't mean that he has to. He has my phone number. He has people that has my phone number. We got mutual friends and shit like that. We actually spoke in real life. He could call me and we could do a live stream or whatever. He taking the advice of gossip girls. He taking advice of people that ain't never met me in real life before. He's speaking off of rumors and making all of this stuff. And it's like, where's the integrity? Where's the integrity? It's one thing to say that I disagree with Anton on this, or I think he could have handled this differently, or, hey, I think that Corey got the best of him on that and all of that other stuff. I don't have no problem with that. That's content. I've never had a problem whatsoever. But isn't it ironic? And I got to point out the timing. I got to be honest. Isn't it ironic that it just so happened to turn when I go on Fresh and Fit and I get cool with Myron and Fresh? Now, I know that he'll never say this. He'll never admit this because he hates Fresh and Fit and he hates Myron. But that's a them problem. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't never spoke on him on a platform. I've never done a hit video about him. And guess what I'm never going to do? I'm never going to do a hit piece or a hit video on O'Shea Duke Jackson. You know why? Because I actually spoke to him in real life. And I've always had the perspective that if I have a disagreement with somebody that I know or somebody that I have their phone number, that I would actually reach out to them behind the scenes. Y'all came at me and said, hey, man, you need to criticize Charleston for this, criticize Charleston for that. And I wouldn't do it. You know why? Because any disagreement that me and Charleston had, we going to handle behind the scenes. Now, I'm going to defend myself, and then we wind up fixing it like brothers. And that's the difference, right? That's the difference. But I was, and let me be clear, O'Shea owes me nothing. He owes me nothing. I have nothing negative to say about him whatsoever. But I think that the timing was very interesting, that the time that he decided to go against me and make all of these crazy hit pieces about how bad of a father I might be or all of this stuff. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is personal. This is personal. When did this shit turn personal? I find the timing to be suspicious. The minute that it started to turn the other way, because he was making objective videos previously, was when I first was cool with Fresh and Fit. Now, I'm not saying that that's the catalyst. I just find the timing suspicious, right? The second thing is I didn't know that he loved Corey Holcomb as much as he loved Corey Holcomb. I'm assuming that they had some in-person interaction, that they know each other personally, that they've had some phone calls with each other or something like that. I didn't know because he got his gear on. He got all of that stuff on. And so my thing was, all right, it's one thing, because I understand the Dusties. I understand niggas that wanted to be on the show before and didn't have a platform that got under 10,000 subscribers and they built their whole platform on. They may be bitter, right? That's just some bitter baby mama type of shit. That's a different type of energy. I understand that, you know what I'm saying, people feel a certain type of way about the fact that they don't agree with my political stance and stuff like that. Cool. That's something we can have a conversation about, or something that you can disagree about. But when it turned personal, I'm like, damn. And somebody close to me, I'm not going to say who it is, they said, hey, I thought y'all was cool. I said, I thought we was too. I thought we was too. But I guess not. You know what I'm saying? And so then it became personal about this and that and so on and so forth. And it's like, is this a money play? I never had a problem with him before. I've never had a problem with him before. Ever. Ever. You said you believe I rubbed him the wrong way when you had Angry Man on and then Fresh and Fit. I didn't know that he was beefing with Angry. Listen. Who you got whatever with is between you and them. And I'm not saying that this is true, but that's between you and them. That don't have nothing to do with me. We don't talk about O'Shea when I kick it with Fresh or when I'm talking about Myron. When I'm talking to Myron. Whatever they got going on is between them. You saying you think it was a passport bro conversation that you had, but that wasn't personal to him. If somebody, again, I use this example a lot of times. If somebody say, oh man, all black men is broke, I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended by that. So what I think is happening and what people are starting to observe, he got dissed by the person that he picked against me. And it's all because he wasn't being objective. He picked a side. And the one thing that I've learned as a content creator over time that I realize, and it's the reason why I apologize to Fresh and Fit, is that you speak objectively when it's outside of politics. Now, we can criticize politicians because they work for the people. It's a different conversation. When we talking about personal situation, you criticize the situation. You don't make it personal. And that's why I wouldn't even say nothing negative about Eric Kirk yesterday, even though the people in the chat that are Republicans was saying that I should, is because I haven't done my own research yet. So if I'm going to speak on something that she says, that's one thing. If I'm going to speak on her personally, and I don't even know her, I feel like I need to do my research now. And I think that he's still caping. He's still trying to save face. He's still looking for Corey to oh my God, I can't believe it or whatever. So now he's trying to make videos now that Corey says something about him because, now it's like, oh, okay, now I can attack you. And I think it's a character flaw. Objectively, I think it's a character flaw. And it's unfortunate because he's been doing this for a long time. He's been doing this for a long time. He's been in the game for a long time. And I don't know what the issue is. I even reached out behind the scenes because the number that I had for him had changed. And I reached out to a girl that we know, a mutual girl that we know. And I said, hey, give him my number. And it wasn't even because I was doing it for me. I was reaching out because, and I don't want to name no names or whatever, somebody asked me to reach out because they didn't understand why he was talking negatively about them, because he had been basically tearing them down and all of this stuff, right? And I was like, damn. All right, so I reached out to the girl and said, hey, if you got his new number, give him my number and tell him to hit me up or whatever. And I'm not telling y'all that y'all need to unfollow him. Let's be clear. I'm telling you how it bothered me as a regular person that knows you, that spoke to you, that it bothered me. This is what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about the fact that it bothered me that this happened. Really, I'm keeping it 100. It bothered me because it's like, I don't know, that other chick, the fatback out there, I don't know her, so we'll deal with her accordingly. But it did. It bothered me. It really did bother me that my family started to get included. It wasn't no slowdown. It wasn't no, yo, you know what, man, this is, all right, hold on for a second. It wasn't none of that. It was just like, now fuck him. And I'm like, but I know you. Never got a call. And he don't owe me nothing or nothing. So I'm not telling y'all that y'all need to unfollow somebody. You ain't got to pick sides. If you rock with me and you love what I do here on the Millionaire Morning Show and on the Anton Daniels channel on Room 9, fuck with me. If you like his content and you rock with him and you rolling with him and you like what he put out, fuck with him. Like, don't ever unsubscribe. I ain't never told y'all to do this. I ain't never told y'all to attack nobody, and I ain't never told y'all to unsubscribe from somebody. If you like what somebody does, fuck with them. Don't unsubscribe because you feel like you have to pledge an allegiance. You can rock with both. I'm not telling you that if you like somebody, you don't have to not like them because I have a disagreement about whatever it is that they rock with. No. It don't take away from the fact that he's a good content creator. O'Shea is a good content creator. He's a pioneer. He's created great videos. He's objectively on a lot of different issues, covered a lot of stuff, and he's built a platform, and he's also, you know what I'm saying, been a something that has put people on and been a pioneer in the space. He's really good at what he does. He's helped a lot of people. This don't take away from the things that he did in the past. I personally didn't understand the inability to be objective when I've never, ever said anything or did anything to him, is what I'm saying. Criticize it. Cool. I like it. I like the visibility. I like the publicity. I like all of that. Ain't nobody losing no money. Ain't nobody losing no channels and nothing like that. I'm cool. But all I'm saying is, it's unfortunate. It really is. It's unfortunate. So I don't know what relationship he got with Corey. Obviously not much at all because Corey torched him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that a interesting turn of events? And then Corey torched him. But again, I think that he's a good content creator, and I wish him well and I wish him the best. I wish him well and I wish him the best. I don't plan on ever speaking on him ever again because there's nothing to speak about. It's nothing to speak about. So I wish you well. God bless you. I hope everything works out and that you do really, really well. And let's keep it moving. So that's all I have to say about that, man. I don't have any animosity. I don't understand it. Makes no sense to me. It's just weird, bro. It's weird. It's a really, really weird thing. And I think that people picked the wrong side. I know for a fact that people picked the wrong side. It's the go along, get along game. But I stand on my own too, and I rock with who rock with me. And I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. But I'm not feeding into the bullshit. I got bigger things to do and other things to tap into. So God bless. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to you, Diz. I appreciate. Oh, let's go into a salary segment. I told you I was gonna do that. Just sent the Corey Holcomb link. What's the link? Oh, for Ricky Smiley. I don't even like Ricky Smiley. Let me see if I can go to his YouTube channel first before I pull it up, the one on Instagram that you just sent me. All right, I can't find it on there, so I'm gonna just pull it up on here. Let me share my screen real quick. Remove, share screen, Instagram.
You and special case colleague, y'all. We're praying y'all for comedian Corey Holcomb. Now, Corey Holcomb is saying y'all that TMZ has ruined his career, honey, by posting a video that showed him punching fellow comedian Christina Payne in her face. Now, they said the incident happened back in 2024, y'all, when Holcomb took a swing at Payne during a heated argument. Now, TMZ posted the video back in January 2026, and it went viral, which everybody loves viral now, so it went viral. Now, they're saying that TMZ posted the video following another incident involving Holcomb and Anton Daniels during a January 13th episode of 5150 show. Now, they're saying tensions flared when Holcomb challenged Daniels to a fight during a verbal altercation. Now, the two incidents together portrayed Holcomb as a troublemaker and woman abuser. Now, social media users roasted him for attacking a female. Now, during the February the 4th episode of 5051, they're saying that Holcomb complained, y'all, that he can't even book y'all comedy shows, Vicky, because TMZ ruined his life. Now, they're saying sponsors are also distancing themselves from the problematic radio host. Now, he said, quote, you know, I haven't been working a lot, y'all, my gigs. He said, I lost a lot of my gigs. So by the wait, thank you, TMZ. I lost another gig today, Mr. Holcomb said. He said, quote, I'm about to be out here on welfare. Somebody got to explain why I ain't got nothing no more. Now, Holcomb 56, y'all, accused TMZ founder and lawyer Harvey Levin of ruining the lives of black men in California. Now, he said, he added, y'all, and a life I've been building 30-some years was destroyed, y'all, because everybody thinks TMZ is square business. They not square business, homie. that was ran by this lady named Sean Holly and Harvey Levin. He said, it's so many brothers in jail right now, y'all, because of that tag team. And they was trying to get to me by pushing the narrative of a gun. And there's so many people out here, ain't nobody see me with no gun, unquote. Now, this is sad. Now, this is y'all colleague. I mean, can y'all help him find a job? I mean, can anybody talk to him? Are y'all familiar with this situation?
I haven't called him, but I'll definitely reach out to him and talk to him and just see if he needs to talk. You know, people make mistakes and do stuff not justifying anything. He's a friend and been a friend for many, many years. And I hate this for him. I hate it for the victim, the lady that you know, that he was in the altercation with. I just hate it. So maybe as a friend, I think Corey might be older than me, but I've been doing comedy longer than him.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those little brother, big brother situations where we just have to have a conversation with him, because Corey comes on the morning show sometimes.
Yeah.
And as a friend, I think I should reach out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to keep him lifted up in prayer and all parties involved. And hopefully and prayerfully, y'all, you know, this here is resolved.
I just hate all of this. I hate it. You don't know what to say. It's in the news. You have to report it. But then you have be personally connected to them. Yeah. And just the only thing I can really honestly say that I just have to have a conversation.
Yeah. And that's it.
A private conversation with him.
Exactly.
You know.
It's nothing, Burger. I don't see nothing worth having a conversation about. I don't see nothing. It's a nothing burger to me. They just reported the news. Shout out to you, Laymar, on there. You gave him credit in your Patreon videos. I did. I gave O'Shea credit in my Patreon videos. I did. Michael Dorsey Jr. says full sprinting, bag chasing in 2026. Just landed my second job making $100K with both of them. Run it up, Michael Dorsey. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Everybody's saying they can't find no money out here, and we finding all of the bags. Eric Harris says, I unfollowed O'Shea way before the Corey situation because I realized that he was messy. Well, I didn't tell you to do it. But DJ Bobby J says, been a long time subscriber of O'Shea. Him making the videos about you bothered me. He's the reason I found you. KS on and KS on YouTube. I never understood it. I don't understand it either. Quasi says bag chasers are a cult. Well, first of all, it's cult. C-U-L-T. A cult, I believe, is a horse. I believe a colt is a horse. C-O-L-T is a horse. So one of the things we gotta make sure that we type this right. So shout out to you. Bag chasers is a movement. That's what we are. A group of people that's going in a certain direction. That's what we got going on. Coach Chris says, I never heard of anybody say anything negative about you until you started really branching out. Were you prepared for the backlash and did you see it coming? Absolutely. The only thing that I didn't see, I'm going to talk about this in the Patreon. So I got a content creator mastermind that's coming up before we do the next stock club. The only thing that I didn't see, because I've been talking about this for a long time. I said, listen, eventually we're going to have a situation where my next level is scandal level. All right. The only thing that I didn't anticipate, because I know that they're going to attack my wife. I know that they're going to attack all of that. I didn't anticipate my daughter being attacked. That's the only thing. I just never anticipated, for it to be that. So that's a completely different conversation. But everything else, I was very much prepared for. And I just adjusted for that. Quezzy says, bag chaser all day, 10 toes down. Shout out to my dog, Quezzy. We did a business one last night. Oh, you want me to do a specific business one? Yeah, I could do a business one. Unsubscribing is just changing the channel, says Vito Royale. Shout out to Vito Royale. Chozart says, there is a framework called the Black American Diagnostic, a structured map of system dynamics and discourse bottlenecks worth examining. Much respect. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you. I'll look into it. Real Antonio says, I'm very surprised that some of these YouTubers, either they are closet haters or just two-face. Two-face. You saw Ja checked Yayo and Unc Murder. If you want me to talk about that, I can. I did see that. Coach Chris says, AD, do you ever look at it like all of us black people beefing on the net is actually good for generating revenue and promoting us monetarily by proxy? Now, I don't segment it like that. I look at some of it as just content. Everybody beefs. White people beef, Asian people beef. That's just a human nature. It's just a disagreement amongst people. AR's back says, wait, Ricky and Gary sassy? I don't know nothing about that. Anton Daniels, ends my career, comes out soon. Yeah, that sounds like something that he'll frame in like Spaces. Shout out to Spaces. Dueling After Dark says, shout out to you, fam. Me and my wife, Sade, loves us, loves the show, and we will be checking out classes to get to this bag. Shout out to you, Dueling After Dark. We both from the D. Oh, y'all from Detroit? Claremont and the Lodge, thank you for being a great inspirational mentor. Respect to you. Shout out to my Detroit brethren in the building. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to my Detroit friends. Talk about the John Yayo situation. Do y'all want me to talk about the John Yayo situation? Y'all want me to talk? If y'all want me to talk about the John Yayo situation, I can. Let me see what y'all talking about. Y'all are the ones that's going to determine what's happening today. Because we are going to talk about it on After Hours tonight. It will be a subject on After Hours. Wait till After Hours. I see more people saying wait till After Hours and all of that. All right, well, we'll figure that out. I'm going to go to the review salary, but let's go to this just Maxwell taking the fifth.
Into the Jeffrey Epstein case, Ghislaine Maxwell appearing virtually
before
a House committee pleading
I thought it was Ghislaine. So it's Ghislaine. All right.
Fifth today. Tonight, you'll see the video right here. Her lawyer saying she is prepared to speak honestly if granted clemency, and what her lawyer said about President Trump and President Clinton. Rachel Scott on the Hill tonight.
Tonight, newly released video showing Jeffrey Epstein's only convicted co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, appearing before lawmakers from a Texas prison, refusing to answer questions unless President Trump grants her clemency first.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Maxwell, who is currently challenging her conviction and 20-year sentence for trafficking minors to Epstein, pleading the fifth. Her lawyer stating she is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump, adding both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Ms. Maxwell alone can explain why. President Trump, who was friends with Epstein for more than 2 decades, has not ruled out a pardon for Maxwell. Today, the House Oversight Committee's top Republican warning against it.
She's asked for clemency from the president. So I personally don't think she should be granted any type of immunity or clemency.
Democrats arguing
So let's break this down for a second. What does it mean to have clemency? Clemency means a multitude of different things. And so I'm going to pull it up for you guys just so you can understand it. Because when I study and when I research, even when I read the Bible a lot of times, I'll often at times look stuff up just to get more insight so I'll know exactly what's going on. Clemency is the authority of a president or governor to grant mercy, leniency, or reduction of punishment to individuals convicted of crimes. It is a constitutional power used to commute sentences, which means shorten them, issue pardons, forgive them, or grant reprieves and postpone, often based on mitigation factors or excessive sentences. The types of clemencies include a pardon, a commutation, which reduces a penalty to less severe sentence, and a reprieve. All right. So what she's basically saying is that she wants some form of clemency in order for her to speak openly about a lot of different things that is happening when it comes to the Epstein files. Okay? That is what she's saying. Now, what do I think Trump would do, or what do I think that Trump will do? I'm going to look into it, John Till. Give me a second. Some people are saying, I hope he'll never grant her that. All right, Destiny. Let me ask you a question, Destiny. Because everybody said they want the truth. The files don't necessarily paint the full picture. The truth is with the people. And there is nobody that knows more about the situation than Ghislaine Maxwell. Or what's her name? Yeah, Ghislaine. Or Ghislaine. They say Ghislaine. I say Ghislaine. And so I'm wrong. Ghislaine Maxwell. So let me ask you the question. Would you want to know the truth, or would you want to just keep her in jail because you don't necessarily think that she's a good person? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Do you want to know the truth? Because it could actually implicate some people that really did some stuff or clear up some situations, or would you prefer to actually keep her in jail? Because I don't think that people really want the truth. I think that people want to see blood. Keep her in jail because they have the files. That don't mean nothing. The files alone does not implicate anybody. It doesn't change anything. I don't think it means anything. What I think that Trump would do, or what I would assume that Trump would do, is that I think that Trump wouldn't do anything until after 2026 midterms, 2028 election. If she was to ever get any form of clemency, pardon, her sentence reduced, anything like that, I don't think that she would ever get it until after 2028, because there's too much on the line. And nobody wants, or at least Trump is smart enough to understand that he would never jeopardize the 2026 midterms, nor would he ever jeopardize his reputation in the 2028 election. And so even if he did do it, it wouldn't come anytime soon. Says that in itself shows she had a part. Well, of course, everybody got a part. That's his chick. That was his main. That was his bottom chick. That's his bottom chick. What you think? She gonna never... Hold on. I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. Let me think about it. Let me play the rest of the video, and then I'll figure out if I really want to say it.
Maxwell is playing Trump.
This was an effort to essentially try to secure her pardon by keeping her mouth shut.
The fallout from the more than 3 million pages of Epstein files released by the Justice Department late last month.
That's his bottom. Look at that. Listen, I don't give a fuck what he did. That's his bottom chick. You see that? They're not even in America, I don't think, in this video. They doing the mariachi dance. That's his bottom chick. Don't say it, AD. Hold on. I'm going to keep it 100. I don't know what her role is, so let me preface this by saying this, right? I don't know what her role is. I don't know what she did. All I know is she know where the bodies was buried, and she know everything about him. She knows everything about Epstein that we will never know. She knows more about Epstein than any of us will ever know. Let's see the rest of the video, and then I need to figure out what I want to say before I say it. Because if we've learned anything over these last few days, is that the things that you say in the past that's egregious could come back to haunt you. Even if you go all the way to Iceland.
Still growing. Democrats and at least one Republican now calling on Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to resign. Lutnick insisted he distanced himself from Epstein in 2005, even calling him gross on a podcast last fall.
I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
But files released by the DOJ show the two were still in contact. This email showing an appointment for drinks in 2011, years after Epstein first pleaded guilty to sex crimes. R.J. O'Brien asking if the committee plans to subpoena Lutnick.
Interested in talking to anyone that might have any information that would help us get justice for the survivors.
And David, tonight, for the first time, lawmakers were able to review the unredacted Jeffrey Epstein files at the Department of Justice. Two lawmakers tonight saying they found more names that need to be released to the public. David.
Let me over now to the representative from Texas, Ms. Crockett.
Thank you so much. Listen, as an attorney, I was wondering exactly where all we were going with her planning to invoke the Fifth Amendment. You know, Fifth Amendment is about self-incrimination. We all know that she has been finally convicted. She has exhausted all of her appeals. But they've decided to file a writ of habeas corpus. In my opinion, they have filed this writ of habeas corpus just to use it as an excuse to not answer more questions because, again, we know that she's a monster. We know that a jury was able to listen to all of the evidence and find that she should be found guilty. And even Donald Trump's Supreme Court, which that is saying a lot, even his Supreme Court has decided to affirm every single thing that took place on the trial level. So the fact that this woman is continuing to invoke the Fifth Amendment tells us exactly what my colleagues have already stated. She is a monster. She does not care. She has no remorse. She is not seeking to bring about some kind of closure.
Yeah, I agree. For the first time in my life, I actually agree with Jasmine Crockett. But I don't think that that's what anybody is debating here. Nobody is debating whether she's a monster. Nobody is debating whether she's guilty. I don't think that the question is, even up to the Supreme Court, because she's exhausted all of her appeals. I don't disagree objectively with what Jasmine Crockett is saying, but I don't think that that's what the conversation is. The conversation is, do you have a trump card? How bad does the public truly want to know the truth? And that's the card that's in her back pocket. Why would somebody give you information and not invoke their Fifth Amendment? Why would somebody volunteer information when they don't get something out of it? Even a snitch know that. Ain't no snitch just gonna tell just for the sake of telling. A snitch most of the time tells because they get something out of it. It didn't mean that the snitch didn't commit the crime. Snitching is not a person that's regular people going out and observing and seeing somebody committing a crime and calling the police. That's not what a snitch is. A snitch is a person that is complicit in the crime along with the person that got caught. And because they got caught, they're telling on the other person so that they can get themselves off. What she is saying is, I ain't telling you nothing because what do I get out of it? What does she have to gain? And don't get me wrong, I think that she belongs in jail. But the question is, what does she have to gain by telling you anything when I got this card in my back pocket and I want to know exactly if y'all really want to know what really happened, then okay, come and kick it with me. I'm not talking unless I get some form of clemency. I'm not talking unless I get some form of a pardon. I'm not telling you nothing unless I say this or I say that. She playing the cards that she got left in her stack. This is her Uno reverse. This is her draw four. This is her skip. So the question is the public. The public has to determine what they really want to know and if they want to know bad enough. If they don't, then she stay in jail. She'll probably get out in less than 15 years. She's still going to be free at some point because she'll get out for good behavior. She's still in the cupcake. They say she's in a cupcake low tier prison. Or do you want to know the truth and then she get out of jail? And I'm sure she got some money stashed. I'm positive that she got some money stashed. I'm sure she got some Swiss bank accounts. I'm sure they was able to pivot into cryptocurrency. I'm sure that they was able to. She gonna be out of Dodge. How long has she been in jail? Let me see. How long? She sentenced 20 years in 2022. So in 2022, she was sentenced to 20 years.
For these women, she doesn't care. And frankly, it seems like this administration overall does not care. All they care about is
y'all saying that she's been in jail since 2019. All right, 2019 is 2026. She's been in there for 7. She probably got another 8 to do. 7, 8 years. She probably knocked that shit out.
Powerful in protecting pedophiles. They will do anything to distract from that, including deciding to put up in the middle of Black History Month.
You don't have 16 to go. Nobody that goes to jail unless you commit a crime while you're in jail do the full prison sentence. Nobody. She'll at least get some years knocked off if she got good behavior and stuff like that.
Most racist thing that we've ever seen come out of a White House. But I am here to tell you that House Democrats, specifically on the Oversight Committee and the Judiciary Committee, as we do have Pam Bondi coming before us here in a minute, we will not be deterred. We will not be distracted. We know who it is that needs to be held accountable, and we will go in and we will make sure that we continue to dig. This will not stop us because his co-conspirator decided that she was going to try to play games with us this morning. I got news for you, Ms. Maxwell. We're not done. We're going to continue to go. And it is my hope that this court resolves this sham of a, I don't even know what to call it, this
She's just talking at this point.
Scam of a maneuver that she has filed in court. That is what we will call it. We hope that that is resolved quickly and we can bring her on back since we're not physically moving her. She's still in her cushy jail cell down in Texas. We will bring her back so that she can answer questions and hopefully finally start to answer questions truthfully. And now
you don't have to say, she's not going to say nothing. She's not going to say nothing. Why would she say anything? Why would she say anything? Why would she tell you anything? What does she got to get out of it? She's not going to say nothing. She chilling. She probably eating Jell-O, pudding pops. Boy, she probably eating pudding pops every day. And she having a good time. She probably getting some head. Probably got her little girlfriend in there, a couple girlfriends. She got some money waiting for her when she get out because she been keeping quiet. She ain't been telling no secrets. I'm telling you, she chilling. Probably got TV privileges. She don't look like she lost no weight. None of that stuff. She just says she having a good time. She's probably getting her hair done, nails done, playing checkers. You know what I'm saying? PS5. She in the lowest tier. She get to be out for 16 hours a day. They am there giving hand slaps. Hey, what's up, baby girl? All of that. Why? Getting her A8. Everything. I'm gonna add that to after hours. I want to see what Molly and them got to say about that. Molly and them came up with a hell of a idea for a show. Molly and I don't know if Slimmy was a part of that too, but Miss Sanchez and Molly came up with a hell of an idea for a show. So I got to figure out what that looks like. Let me read some of y'all super chats. Y'all crazy. Dolores says, love you and love your family. I love you too, Dolores. One of my favorite people in the world was named Dolores. A. Jones says, is Mika good? Haven't seen her since 5150 Fallout. You'll see her eventually. Don't worry about it. Mika is doing fine. Mika's doing just fine. Don't worry about MDOT. Jay, keep it real, says, good morning, AD. Keep doing your thing, big dog. You stick to your principles and hold mother effers down. That's all we can do is do what we do, bro. The GOAT 88 says she was previously caught lying under oath. Look it up. Yeah, that don't mean nothing. This lady sound like Molly, says TS Car Wash. Who sound like Molly? Miss Law says she definitely comfy getting fresh batches of hooch. Facts. Mika was live yesterday. Tap in. Because they don't listen. People are not looking to figure out what she's talking about. People are only looking to try to figure out if the gossip stuff. That's it. People are looking at the gossip stuff. They not focus on the stuff that's actually meaningful. That's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there. We will get there. Let's see what else is going on in these streets. What else y'all want to talk about? Because, like, you can literally go to her show and look at what she streamed yesterday if you wanted to. Let me see. We did that one. Let me see what's going on in these streets. What else y'all want to talk about? Clinton's black son. What? Ghislaine, Tina. Do y'all think this Epstein thing is going to die down eventually?
Police have charged a 31-year-old man after a teenager was shot and killed inside of an extended stay motel last night.
Fox 5's Ray Urena is live at the lodge, live-in lodge near Lilburn with the latest. Ray?
Investigators tell us that 17-year-old victim was playing video games at the time this all happened, and they happened in a room just upstairs from where we are standing. Investigators also believe that their suspect was a man who was staying in a room with a shared wall.
Gwinnett County Police say a 17-year-old boy is dead after a bullet went through a wall of a motel near Lilburn. Officers got the call at about 11 o'clock Thursday night to the live-in lodge off Stone Mountain Highway.
They said it happened 10 minutes before I got here, and then as soon as I got here, the police got here at the same time.
Markel Smith is staying 2 doors down.
It's sad because no parent should lose a child. I lost my daughter in Washington, so it's like I know how I feel to lose a child. So it's like that's something that no parent should have to mirror or witness.
Gwinnett Police.
What's up with all of this? All of these kids dying and kids getting lost and kids getting abducted and kidnapped and stray bullets going after kids. Are y'all praying for our children? Are y'all praying for our kids? Because it's a lot of children that is suffering. And I don't know what's going on, but it's almost like some kind of energy. And most of the videos that we're seeing is some young people, it's teenagers, it's kids. It's like kids are a target right now. What is going on out here? Getting hit by a random bullet while you playing video games inside of your room? It's crazy. So you're just playing video games. You on PS5 or Xbox Live, and you just get hit by a stray bullet and you just hit.
Say 31-year-old Shamarcus Cochran faces charges of involuntary manslaughter and reckless conduct. Investigators say he was starting to clean his firearm after returning from the gun range when a bullet was fired at the wall. Police say the victim was found dead on his bed for what appeared to be a gunshot wound.
I ain't never heard a bullet just going through the wall. I heard of people getting shot at motels in front, but not, they just playing a video game and a bullet just come through the wall.
The identity of the victim has not yet been released. Smith says he didn't know the teenage victim, but saw him around the motel.
It's hurtful. My condolences to the family, to the woman I saw last night that was screaming.
But now, Smith says he's rethinking where he will spend the night.
I don't want to be here no more, to be honest. I'm probably about to leave today because I got, a friend had her daughter here, her son, and it could have been her son instead of the boy.
That's crazy, bro. You just chilling playing video games and then all of a sudden you just get killed like that? That's insane. That don't make no sense. They say teens is breaking into vacant homes in San Diego too.
It was party time in the San Diego house and the kids threw a rager. The biggest problem, none of them live here. In fact, at the time, no one did. An NBC7 investigation discovered a growing problem: illegal house parties being thrown inside vacant homes listed for sale or rent.
Yeah, so as Dave Summers reports, these parties advertised on social media aren't just costly to clean up, they've also proven deadly.
A quiet street in Otay Mesa was anything but on a Friday night in late January. This home is for sale, but this was no open house.
I had no idea.
This is what it looks like when San Diego police break up an illegal vacant house party right sale, but this was no open house.
I had no idea.
This is what it looks like.
I can't tell what they race is.
But this was no open house.
I had no idea.
This is what it looks like when San Diego police break up an
Look like they all everything.
Illegal vacant house party right as it's getting underway.
I was surprised to see that there was, 60 plus people gathered around the house and coming from the side gates.
Oh, yeah. I can't tell if they white or if they Mexican or if they Asian or if they Latino. I can't tell what they are, but it don't look like they black people.
In the backyard.
Partygoers are also surprised to see the police.
I'm going to be honest, I heard there was a party going on. I just came to San Diego for a few weekends.
Inside homeowner Eric Vaca surveys the aftermath.
All the beds were like that when I came in here.
His beautifully staged home violated.
Looks like they just cut them off.
The smoke detectors cut down so partygoers could light up.
I've never heard of.
So, okay, here's the question. Why they just letting them walk away? That's my biggest question is why are they just letting them walk away scot-free and ain't nobody holding them? So ain't nobody going to get arrested. They cut down the smoke detector so that they can smoke. They destroy somebody else's home. The home is staged so it can be sold. And ain't nobody going to get arrested. Everybody could just walk away. The police just got their hands tied behind their... Oh, come on. Listen, I know that Los Angeles is crazy. I know that Oakland don't have as many police officers. So anybody can do anything they want to do in any part of California, all up and down the coast. Don't matter if you're in San Diego or Los Angeles. If you in Oakland or if you in the Palisades, nobody get arrested for anything. This is crazy. Y'all got me rethinking my whole idea of wanting to live in San Diego. Because if anybody could just go to your crib when you're not there and tear it up, nah, dog, that's not cool. That's why they doing it. They're going to hit another house and another house and another house and another house. And they don't care. And the reason that they're able to get away with it is because they're allowed to get away with it. All right, well, I guess I won't ever buy nothing over in California, in San Diego. I guess the only thing that I'm going to ever do is find somewhere where I can spend the winter and just go from there. That's crazy.
There's cut down so party goers could light up.
I've never heard of a house party with, tens, 20s, 100 of people coming in and breaking into the home and then completely.
Inside homeowner Eric Vaca surveys the aftermath.
All the beds were like that when I came in here.
Protectors cut down so party goers could light up.
I've never heard of a house party with, then completely
neighborhood.
This wasn't just any party. It was, let's have fun and ruin the house. They actually let off fireworks inside the house.
I would be on fire. I would be pissed.
When realtor Vanessa Munoz listing was broken into, the Skyline property was in escrow.
A human-sized hole in the wall, like someone got thrown into the wall. The sliding door going outside was completely shattered.
The repair bill around $7,000, according to Munoz.
It could have been a lot worse.
It was a lot worse for retired Navy Lieutenant Troy Asaki. Last August, he says his then vacant rental home suffered upwards of $250,000 in damage from an illegal party.
We're really heartbroken. It's been a mixture of emotions, of frustration and anguish, and a lot of it's just been heartache.
Why are people destructive? I don't get that part. Why are people destructive? Like, how come when we did stuff when we was younger, we did it to have fun. We didn't see the fun in tearing something up. The fun was in the fact that we was trying to get away with it and we was doing something that we wasn't supposed to do. Why are people destructive? I don't understand it. I thought that when you went to a party, you went there for the house. And the chicks went there to get drunk and to drink and be with boys that they're not supposed to be with. That's what I thought that you went. You went, hey man, who gonna be there? Oh, snaps. Keisha gonna be there? How you know Keisha gonna be there, bro? She said she going, her homegirl going? Parents out of town? All right. No. I don't know. I got to tell my mom something. I'm gonna tell her I'm going over spending the night at your house, and then you tell your mom you spending the night at my crib, and then we gonna try to link up. What time they gonna be there? All right, cool. That was the goal. That was the goal. Hey, who gonna be there? What? You know I'm coming. I got to figure out how to get there. I ain't know that the goal was to be destructive. Nobody wanted to be around a destructive dude. Hey, man, you going to mess up the house. You going to mess up the house. Because the dude that was too rowdy, the dude that was doing too much, he going to mess up the vibes. Hey, man, hold on, man. Hey, bro. Hey, man, I don't know if we can bring such and such. Man, that nigga always fighting. Niggas that fought, people that always wanted to fight, we wasn't about that life. It was like, yo, bro, you going to mess up the house. Hey, man, hey, dog, why you always trying to fight, bro? Niggas dirty macking. Nah, ain't nobody trying to do all of that, bro.
In recent years, these vacant house parties have been more than just damaging. They've been deadly. In 2024, a 12-year-old boy was killed and 4 others shot in National City. What do all these parties have in common? Social media.
They're saying, hey, party at this house, $10 cover at the door. They'll have a security person there. They'll have a DJ or something like that.
San Diego Police Lieutenant Cesar Jimenez says he's seen the flyers being shared online. They link to private group chats where addresses are revealed just minutes before the parties pop up.
Even though they're young, they're sophisticated. They're going to open houses. They're checking out Redfin and seeing what houses are empty.
Are they
Hell no. So the kids is using Redfin, Trulia, and Zillow more effectively than the adults, and then they go and pick a mansion or something, and they go and tear it up and party and charge money for it, and they can walk away with their profit and get up out of there. They got security and the DJ. You don't even need a DJ. They got a playlist and a Bluetooth speaker. A playlist and a Bluetooth speaker and somebody to collect the money at the door. Oh, this is messed up.
Burglar might stake out a house.
Very much so. More like a burglar would stake out a house.
SDPD says they've seen 15 to 20 of them across the county in the last year.
So in 2008, for example, we had a lot of these cases because there were so many houses in the market for sale that were empty.
But what about the kids you saw casually walking past police? Why aren't they being caught? Jimenez says arrests aren't so simple because it's hard to prove who was in on it.
If we can identify the person who's throwing the party, a lot of times that's very difficult because most people are going to say, well, I didn't know. I thought the person throwing the party owned the home. And so that's going to be part of our burden of proof.
And right now, police only respond when they get 911 calls.
We cooked. If you're looking for safety, if you're looking for a place where you don't have to worry about people breaking in your home, you don't got that no more because the internet is allowing for people to take advantage of Trulia and Zillow. And so the police officers can't even be police officers no more. Back in my day, police officers, they crack heads, head busting. Back in my day, the police officers cracked heads. Nowadays, you can't touch the hoe. They just walk away scot-free. You can't say nothing. You can't do nothing. You just walk away scot-free and can't nobody hold nobody accountable no more. Nowadays, everything is messed up. The police can't arrest you. The people know that the police can't arrest you. And so they're going to keep doing it over and over again and over again. And nobody is held accountable. This is crazy.
It's complaint driven. Is that about right?
Yes, that's very much correct.
The reason why the bust happened here in Otay Mesa is because the homeowner got a tip from a homeowner here in Skyline. You see, they found a party flyer inside the house. So the next time a party was announced online with the address, contact was made quickly and the cavalry was called in.
I'm feeling very lucky.
But you can't prevent it. Like, they had to wait till the break-in and the party started going before you can call the police.
Thankful that we caught it just in time.
Eric Baca isn't the only one feeling grateful.
In my 20 plus years of doing real estate, I had never experienced something like this.
A week after the Otay Mesa party, realtor Carla Vidrio got a call from, you guessed it, Vaca's realtor. This is what she saw at her vacant Spring Valley listing.
There were more than 30 people inside and like about 20 people outside waiting to pay their cover of $10 to come in.
That's 500 right there.
I saw them throw a firework from the front door outside, and it literally exploded right in front of people who were walking in.
Deputies responded quickly. The only damage, smashed up smoke detectors and the surprising realization that nobody was going to jail.
Like the deputy said, they can't really do anything. They can't even arrest them because they don't know who started it.
For now, San Diego's real estate community is on the case.
At this point, I think we have to stick together. The deputies did tell me, you need to get this out to your agents that you know. Let them know what's happening.
Police tell us they believe they know who's behind a lot of these parties, and they're working to build cases they can send to prosecutors for possible charges. The DA's office confirmed they're prosecuting 2 cases tied to parties last year. One case involves a juvenile, so they can't release any details, including the charges. In the other, 4 men were arrested and charged with burglary and vandalism. I'm Dave Summers, NBC7 Investigates.
Soft. We soft now. We soft. We got a soft generation, and ain't nobody got no backbone no more. And our governor is trash. Well, I said my governor, like I live in California. And the governor is trash. And everybody just doing what they want to do when they want to do it. Yeah, Cali is cooked, bro. Anton, are you trying to buy a property in San Diego? Them Cali laws favor criminals. I'm not. I can't see it. I can't see it. I wouldn't mind actually just going to stay there. And even when you stay there, you stay in La Jolla. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, well, let's go back. Let's see. Exact dates. Let's say you were staying there the 1st through 31st. 2 months, right? Thousand homes. Let's go 3-bedroom, at least 3 beds, 2 bathrooms. Narrow it down. Let's get some Wi-Fi popping in here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some Wi-Fi, some heating, some air conditioning. Let's go a pool. We got to get a pool, right? Instant book, self-check-in. Let's move that. Let's go guest favorite, Lux. Property type, house. Got to get the views. Got to see what the views are. Townhouse in San Diego. I don't know about a townhouse. They want a townhouse, $26,000 a month for a townhouse? Get the hell out of here. Nope. $14,000 a month. 56. Oh, now we starting to get to the money. 5-bedroom villa in San Diego. There we go. Now we get into the money. Looks a little too grown for me. Don't got no vibes. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a place with vibes. If it ain't vibes, then you don't really want it. What's this? Oh, there it is. Think we found one. That's not it. Let me see this one. It's too sterile. This might be it right here. Oh, man, this might be it right here. Think we got one. Said it's a view from every room in the house. Yeah, this is it. This is it right here. This is it. I got the wine cellar. I like that black wall. Yeah, this is it. This picture's loading a little slower than I want to, but you know, one of the determining factors is the Wi-Fi. Is the Wi-Fi Wi-Fi-ing? Because if the Wi-Fi, I like that tub. Oh man. Yeah. Yep. I know exactly where this is. If the Wi-Fi ain't Wi-Fi-ing, then I don't want to Wi-Fi it. Got the grand piano. Yeah, when they got a grand piano, that means they got money. You got to pay some money to get there. I don't think I seen the pool. Where was the pool at? Let's see something. Did y'all see a pool? I don't remember seeing a pool. There it is. That's not a pool. That's a hot tub. Hot tub will do. How much they want for this place? $56,000 a month. Some people don't even pay that in a year. They want $56,000 a month to stay here. So if you stay there for 4 months, you're basically going to be paying, and that's not even including whatever fees, right? Let me see. Oh, that's all fees included. 56 grand a month. So you're basically paying about $220 to stay there for $220 to stay there for 4 months. $224, something like that. You're paying for the views, you're paying for the beach, you're paying for all of that. Yep, you're paying to look at the ocean. But some people feel like it's worth it. Some people feel like it's valuable enough to do it. EK says, overrated time to spend money in like-minded places. No, I'll pass. I don't think so. I think that everything is worth it based off of the value that you get from it. Money is just a tool. Now, you do have to be fiscally responsible. You got to take care of business. But money is a tool. It is absolutely a tool. It's not to be something that you prevent from doing the thing that you want to do. You earn it so you can do what you want to do. How much is your peace worth? How much is good weather worth? How much is vibes worth? How much is your sanity worth? What if it adds days onto your life? What if it adds weeks to your life? Is it worth it then? Some people don't feel like first class is worth it. I think it is worth it if you feel like that's something that's valuable to you. Thoughts on LaRussell signing with Rock Nation? I'll add that on after hours. Because we've been talking about that in a group chat. I'll add it on after hours. AD, if our pardon czar Alice Johnson can do 22 years nicely and quietly, Gazelle Maxwell, Miss Maxwell can do it too, says Cynthia Haynes. Yo, it's me, Romy Rome says she hanging it over Trump's head. I don't think so. Keon Bell says, are you a fan of the Twilight Zone from the 60s? If so, it would be cool for you and Slim to comment on season 2, episode 29 of The Obsolete Man. I'm gonna have to look into that. I think we got I think we have movie frame fights this weekend. I think we back on. I gotta talk to Slimmy. Slimmy be working, man. Somebody said, this is an interesting comment. I don't want to 10x my income to increase my lifestyle by 10%. Like when I get $2 million, I'm retiring. Never mind luxury. That's it. $2 million is what it takes for you to retire? Wow. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Well, all of us got a different goal. So TS Car Washing Detail Services. Nah, big dog, go ahead and move here. It's okay till someone get hurt, then the parents gonna be out here crying about it. No. Nah, Gabriel Graham says, hey, what's going on with Bitcoin? What's the lowest you think it'll drop? I don't really care how much it drops. Listen, I'm not looking at what Bitcoin is going to be today. That's not the reason why I continue to invest in it. The reason that I continue to invest in Bitcoin is what it's going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now. I don't care about what the price is of Bitcoin today. I care about what the price is going to be in 20 years. And in 20 years, it's going to be crazy. Crazy. If you're investing in crypto, then you want to invest in it based off of what you, and I'm not telling you you should or you shouldn't, but you need to invest in it based off of where you think it's going to be 10, 20 years from now. All right. Daniel says, blessings, AD, you're going to be in the movies. You're going to be in your movies, OG? We'll see. Amethyst Angel says, pay me to live in your stage house until it's sold and occupied. I'll do that. People get paid to live in homes that's for sale? Me, my Roy, and my Pew Pew talk about bag chasing. I didn't know that people actually, that was a market. Coronado, you're welcome. I don't know if I've ever been there before. Mario Stanfield says, discuss the Super Bowl commercials and the trajectory of the market with AI, different professional pathways should people take to stay ahead of the game. All right, well, let's talk about it. Mario, Mrs. Stanfield, at least I held the crown. All right, let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about it.
Had any doubt that the economy was changing, I want you to go back and watch tonight's Super Bowl advertisements, because here's what the lineup looked like. AI, tech or software and how they're integrating AI, gambling, crypto, and things to pacify you. Media, movies, TV, Apple Music, entertainment, blah, 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 whatever. Very few ads were for things that you could buy in a store, like beer, or a store where you could go buy those things, like Walmart. It was all this service, tech, whatever. To me, no Super Bowl commercial exemplified all of the problems of Super Bowl commercials and our current moment more than the Matthew Broderick AI commercial, which I don't even know what AI company it was for or what that AI company does and how it's different from ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, or all the other AI companies. Really makes me think about labor. Okay, if you didn't see the commercial, I'll explain it to you. It's Matthew Broderick, who is old now. And if you don't know who Matthew Broderick is, you probably know him as Ferris Bueller. And if you didn't recognize him because that movie is 40 years old, I wouldn't blame you. And if you didn't recognize him, you wouldn't get the joke, which he starts off by saying, I'm gonna skip work tomorrow. Tomorrow being the day after the Super Bowl, a day where people are hungover and don't want to go to work. And the joke being that he was Ferris Bueller 40 years ago, so he skipped school. Haha, it's so funny! He goes to an office where people are working, and then he has them use this AI company to do their work so they're done. They don't have to do it anymore. Haha, so you did get to skip work because you used AI. Labor implications of this commercial have my mind boggled. Because what does that mean if you were doing a job that you could basically outsource to AI and then not have to do, or your job is 40 hours a week and then you outsource this to AI and suddenly you're working 7 hours a week? The fact that these commercials...
Let's check out the commercial and see what's happening. I didn't actually see the commercial. So let's check out the commercial and see what she's talking about. A lot of people were completely turned off by the Super Bowl. They wasn't really checking for it like that. So this is the Matthew Broderick commercial.
Jen Spark, give me the day off. I'm skipping work today. You should too, Stu. Jen Spark, finish this slide deck. Now you're not working from home. Hey, you put on pants. Jen Spark, dial in this spreadsheet.
Done?
Circle back on out of here. Let Jen Spark automate your work and take a day off.
The only people that even understand this and the joke behind it would be people that are of a certain age that understand Ferris Bueller. It's the people that will be behind it that understand Ferris Bueller. Like, if you weren't of a certain age, and if you have never watched the movie, which there's a ton of people that are not familiar with Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and they don't even get the inside joke of, oh man, I think I'll take the day off from work today. I think that a lot of people, these marketing professionals and these people that come up with these commercials are trash because it's like they don't understand marketing. They don't understand visibility. They don't understand any of that type of stuff. Like, I've seen, it's only a couple commercials that I thought was dope in the Super Bowl. The 50 Cent commercial was the best one.
It's come to my attention that everyone's calling me a troll. Some said even the king of trolls. First of all, I'm flattered, but I'm done with all that. I would never do a deal with DoorDash and quite literally deliver beef when millions of people are watching. I mean, who would do something like that? Delivering quality beef, it's more of an art than science. Don't want to be too obvious. It's all about timing, and I'm always on time. Oh, they sell Combs. What a coincidence. No matter what kind of beef you have going on this weekend, remember DoorDash delivers. And you know what goes great with beef? A bottle of this beautiful Branson cognac, aged 4 years or 50 months. Who's keeping count?
That's the best Super Bowl commercial. That was literally the best and it was perfect. It was well written. He also got to market he got paid to promote his liquor brand. He threw shots at everybody. He threw shots at 50 Cent. He threw shots at Ja Rule. He threw shots at everybody. And he leveraged his reputation as a troll to get the bag. You can't hate on that. You cannot hate on 50 running up a bag. That was in my opinion, it was the best Super Bowl commercial. I also like the one with, what's my man's name? Ben Stiller.
We're living in the age of now. We're living in the age of now. We're living in the age of now.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
Get them just how you like.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
From green to extra ripe.
Oh, she was getting it in the orange. You see how she was dancing?
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
From green to extra ripe.
What are you doing, huh? Just the flip. Use the app to control your bananas.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, what a time to be alive.
I like the best Stiller commercial.
Are you okay?
I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was a lot of different commercials that was pretty awesome. A couple different commercials. But both of these, this is Instacart, and the other Ben Stiller commercial was and again, even this, you have to be of a certain age to get it, right? You got to understand the time that Ben Stiller came up. He came in the Zoolander age, Along Came Polly, all of that. A lot of people they don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But I like this commercial. I didn't like the Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Because all they did was make everybody younger, and they played off the whole Good Will Hunting thing.
Before the movie, a much better version of Good Will Hunting was made as a sitcom with a real genius in the lead and some other actors.
Hey, Will! And they used AI and special effects to make everybody younger. All this is I'm going to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of people, play off a theme, and then, you know, that's going to play out.
Did you arrange the munchkins in the Fibonacci sequence? I got a genius working for me.
You're such a genius, then why'd he put ice in his coffee, huh?
Come on, Chucky, I'm just Will Hunting. I'm not a genius.
I will marry the first man that can help me with the Fibonacci sequence.
How you doing?
Smooth.
Don't you have a girlfriend? We're on a break. I don't need her. I still get everything I need right here at Dunkin'.
Hey, kid, if you're still single doing this boss...
They throw Ted Danson in there.
...shtick and working for Dunkin' when you're 50, I'm going to be very disappointed.
From Cheers, right? But again, like when you see these commercials and you see this and you having this conversation, the only thing that you're enticed by is nostalgia, right? If you watch Cheers, which Cheers was even before my time, the only reason that I know about Cheers is because my father used to watch Cheers. And so I know about Cheers because of that, right? So I get the reference. If you're still working here and then they playing off the Goodwill Hunting, if you're still working here when Ben Affleck told Matt Damon that if you're still working at this construction company at the time or whatever, then, you know, all of that type of stuff, right? So they mixing up different shows, Friends, The Fresh Prince. It's just, it don't hit though.
Isn't that your girlfriend?
You like donuts?
Yeah.
Well, this is my new boyfriend. How you like these nuts?
It just don't hit, bro. It just doesn't hit for me personally. None of this stuff hit. Like all of this junk is just like, like who wrote this? Who was the person that decided that they want to pay all of these actors all of this money and then they wanted to spend what, $3 to $5 million for a 30-second spot at the Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't. I like the 50 one. It was organic. I like the Ben Stiller one. I don't think it hit. And all the rest of it was AI and all of that. You know what the funny part about this is? People are even complaining to the point to where they saying that they wish that
just kept coming.
They missed the beer commercials. I never thought I'd see the day that people say that they missed the beer commercials. I never thought that I'd see the day that people miss the Miller High Life, the Bud Light commercials, because you're not actually buying anything. You're not buying no cars. You're not buying no beer. We don't have any tangible products that people are pushing nowadays. So all of the money and all of the advertisement is coming from AI commercials. You missed the Budweiser commercials. People are now saying that they missed the commercials where people are actually buying stuff. But it speaks to a bigger thing that's happening in the industry. Let's hear what she got to say.
With random AI apps and softwares and
$8
whatever.
million, that's what they was charging? 8 M's for a 30-minute commercial?
You wonder who is buying this? Like your average person.
Yeah, I know they had a Budweiser one, but it used to be to where it used to be a lot of different beer commercials. And even certain companies would do multiple different commercials.
Isn't buying this. I don't know. My thoughts are very fresh because the Super Bowl just ended, but there are major implications for the economy that have been talked about, but I have not seen it as on display as the Super Bowl tonight.
The Super Bowl commercials were fucking weird. They were either all AI or fat phobia or religious. Mike Tyson did a commercial talking about how everyone's fat and we all need to eat better food. And then at the end of the commercial, it's like realfood.gov or something, like some website to like eat healthier.
My sister's name was Denise. She died of obesity at 25. She had a heart attack. I was so fat and nasty, I would eat anything. I was like 345 pounds, a quart of ice cream every hour. I had so much self-hate when I was like that. I just wanted to kill myself. We're the most powerful country in the world, and we have the most obese, fudgy people. Something has to be done about processed food in this country.
I don't really see a problem with that commercial. I think that commercial is kind of dope. I don't know why she's complaining about that commercial at all.
Fucking dare you? The reason why we can't eat healthier is because of the fucking government, dummy. And then like every commercial is AI or an ad for a crypto company, a tech company, an AI. Like that was literally it. There was one commercial that gave me so much hope. It was a commercial showing like what being on technology, constantly being in front of a screen does to you and how much you're consuming all the time and how that impacts your brain and your goals. And then at the end of the commercial, it shows this girl in peace and quiet and she's hiking. And I was like, I love that, because I'm also so sick of technology. I'm also so sick of always scrolling and feeling like I'm behind and I need to consume. Then what happens? It says to get in touch with Jesus. That whole commercial was just a religious ad. And I'm just like, this is really where the country's going.
What's wrong with that? I don't understand what's wrong with that. Anyways, I guess the thing is I just think that the dynamics of things, I think that the whole Super Bowl was different. I think that it was one of the first times where people were not invested in the outcome of the game, nor was they invested in the commercials. Usually people watch the Super Bowl just because they want to watch the Super Bowl. People watch the Super Bowl because it's almost like a holiday. You know what I'm saying? We don't even stream. We chose not to stream and bring back frame fights because Slimmy was like, we're going to do it on the Super Bowl. I'm like, nah, you're right. Let's not do it on Super Bowl Sunday. So we didn't even do this. We didn't even do anything on frame fights. And we said we was going to bring it back this weekend because the Super Bowl was supposed to be a holiday and it brings everybody together. And, you know, people used to go and buy TVs and then take them back to the store and order a bunch of wings, and pizza places was excited about it and stuff like that. It's not like that no more. Everything is different. Everything has changed. Everything is promoting AI. And one of the reasons why I think that everybody is promoting AI, because they're not necessarily promoting ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, or Claude. They're promoting all of these other AI companies to try to get a foothold. And I believe that's because they're trying to raise the valuation of the companies to either get bought or when they go public for them to raise the valuation for the company so that they can make a lot of money as a result of it. That's why I think it's happening. So everything is different. Everything has changed. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. What else y'all want me to talk about? I got you, Diz. I'm gonna go back to, I'm gonna review a budget. So I am going to talk about that. But what else y'all want to talk about? I discussed the Super Bowl commercials. There you go. Shy BX says, what up, Anton? What's up with O'Shea posting negativity about you on all of his videos? I thought we were all KS friends. Rest in peace. We not cool anymore? I don't know. You know, but as good as me. LYP Speaks says fat phobia is a low IQ argument. Visceral fat kills. It does. I heard Joe was up there trying to lose weight and do what he got to do. Whatever you got to do to lose weight, go get it, bro. I'm with it. Whatever you got to do to lose weight, healthier lifestyles, going to get a bag, I'm with it. Here, let me see this. Let's see if we can find. What was it? CNBC? Diz? CNBC Money. It used to be seen with CNBC Money. They changed it from Millennial Money. They don't have CNBC Millennial Money no more. Or CNBC Money Make It. They started to pivot away from actually reviewing people's budgets and stuff like that. I make $251,000 a year with 3 jobs in the Bay Area. Okay, that sounds like one. I don't pay rent. I travel the world and live rent free by pet sitting full time. She make $251,000. I actually watched this one. Cell protection for dog. See this, I reviewed this one. Left Atlanta for the Middle East. I watched a little bit of that. All right. Well, hold on, let me see something. Let's see what she got to say.
Budgeting was, I felt like, one of my greatest superpowers. And the word budget to a lot of people instills like this kind of fear that you have to live in deprivation. But what my budget did for me was give me the opportunity to spend money on the things that were super important to me. My name is Nasima McElroy. I'm 44 years old. I work as a labor and delivery nurse in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Labor and delivery nurse. Okay. In 2025, Nasima earned around $154,000 from her full-time nursing job and about $51,000 from her part-time nursing position. So basically, she earning a bag. She getting that bag. So that's her 2 jobs.
That second job, ironically, covers a lot of my childcare expenses as a single mom. I actually took 3 months off of work just to focus on my family and recovering and finding a little bit of that balance.
And her personal finance business, Financially Intentional, brought in about $46,000 in 2025, but it was not profitable. Now, a lot of people will ask the question, and they'll say, how is it not profitable if she brought in $46,000? Because she continued to build the business. And this is the difference between having a business and working for somebody, is because I'm assuming that she was able to basically write off the entirety of that because she's still growing the business. So she probably reinvested back into herself, and she can justify that as a write-off.
I invested about $50,000 into my business, into building out some things in the back end. My business operates at a loss at the current moment because
Smart girl.
there are some really exciting things coming up.
She's a smart girl.
I am a mom of 3 beautiful.
She spent 30 bands in December.
Girls, having childcare is rather a big line item in my budget. I prioritize financial.
All right, let's break this down. Business expenses, you can't really justify that because it's a business expense. All of that is going to be written off. So she got software. The caveat for that is software, payroll, and education. So I don't take that into consideration. So let's reduce business expenses from this whole equation, and let's put it more closer to 23,000, right? So she spent $23,000. $5,300 is debt repayment. That is a 403B loan. Okay, so what is a 403B loan? She got a 403B loan, a personal loan, and a HELOC. All right, so she out here in debt big time. So that's why she got to work a lot. All right, a 403B is almost exactly like a 401k, except for it is from a public institution. So you can work for, I had a 403B when I was working for the University of Michigan. I still got my 403B. So it's just like a 401k, except for it is from, if you work for the government, if you work for a major university, if you work for a nonprofit, something like that, you get a 403B, not a 401k. All right. She also has a personal loan. Self-explanatory. And she has a home equity line of credit. So despite the fact that people make a lot of money, they have a lot of bills, and most of the time they can't slow down because she's not going to not be able to pay childcare because she got 3 jobs. She's not going to be able to, you know what I'm saying? She started a new business. She took out money out of her 403B and she took out money from her HELOC. You know what I'm saying? So she makes a lot of money, but she can't not work. And so in order for her to maintain that, so this is what I be saying to people. Sometimes people will say, man, I make $250,000 a year, or you'll meet a girl and she'll say, well, I make this amount of money this year and I make this amount of money per year. I can't be with no guy. It's a guy that make $90,000 and don't have the overhead, the expenses, the child care, the home equity line of credit. His house may be paid off. His car may be paid off. And he lives a much better lifestyle, a much more fruitful lifestyle. And he's in a lower tax bracket than you. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the difference. That's the gap. Now, I'm not saying that making $250,000 is a bad thing. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is just simply looking at it on the surface and saying, well, somebody make this much per year doesn't mean that that's going to translate into you having a better lifestyle. That don't mean that you're going to experience none of it. That don't mean that you're going to have a good time. That don't mean that you're going to get a new car. That don't mean that you're going to go shopping. That just means that they got a lot of bills too, most of the time. That's why they say a lot of people that make 6 figures or more than 50% of them are living paycheck to paycheck.
Independence. So as soon as I got to the point where I was able to max out a 403B and a 457, I was able.
Child care, she paying $1,400 a month. That's more than some people rent. Transportation, $1,400 a month. What is she driving? What is she driving? I gotta see this. You paying $1,400 a month in transportation? Food, $1,300 a month. Well, you got 3 munchkins. Okay. Insurance, $1,500 a month. Discretionary, $2,451. What is discretionary? Gifts, home maintenance, medical bills, etc. Car, savings and investments. She putting up $3,800 a month. That's really good. Mortgage, her mortgage is $4,100 a month. Man, get the hell out of here, bro. I'm not doing this. I couldn't do it. She can't stop working. And anybody that take this on, in my opinion, because we're going to have a real conversation, any guy that comes into her life, they got to do 3 things. The first thing is her and her kids are a package deal. The second thing is you're going to have to deal with a woman that is used to doing her own thing and having her own life and doing what she want to do when she want to do it. The third thing that you're going to have to deal with is when she get tired because she know that you make money too and she want to start taking a break and living a soft life, you're going to have to start taking that on. So what that means is be careful of what you sign up for, because just because they look good or it may seem pretty or it may seem awesome on the outside, don't mean that it's for you. It don't mean that she can't have nobody. It don't mean that she can't find nobody. It don't mean that she can't be successful. It don't mean that she's not going to be awesome. But what it means is be careful who you talk to, because you don't really know what you're signing up for. Let's continue. It's a lot. It's a lot going on here. It's a lot happening right here.
To max out a 403B and a 457 and invest in a Roth IRA. I started investment accounts for my kids.
Maybe we should do, you said for that reason I'm out. Maybe we should do a thing where, you know how on Shark Tank that they was reviewing different businesses. Shark Tank. Let me shut my mouth. Slimmy, I'm on the live stream. I got a question. Are we doing frame fights this weekend?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll send you the movies. It's Crime 101, Relationship Goals, and it's like good. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you in a second. Where is it? Good luck, have fun, don't die. Relationship Goals, Crime 101. Good luck, have fun, don't die.
All right, bet. I got it. We'll talk about it on After Hours tonight.
Okay.
All right, bet.
All right, peace.
So Slimmy said we on for frame fights. All right. Let's continue. I'm giving y'all my ideas.
The Bay Area is very expensive, and I really feel like when it comes to living comfortable,
why so much money in cars? She got a Tesla. What's the problem? Why is she spending so much money in cars? Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Transportation is $1,426. She got $750,000 in personal investment accounts. So
The Bay Area is very expensive, and I really feel like when it comes to living comfortable, you have to be a little bit creative. Always try to keep my mortgage under 30% of my income. So I do live a little bit further east in the Bay Area. I always have a room in my house where I let my coworkers or travel nurses stay, and that further decreases my housing costs. I don't think that debt is a bad thing. I think that we have to be intentional about the choices we make and the decisions that we make around debt. All my debts have been intentional. So the debt for my mortgage, of course, it would be very hard to buy $1 million house cash. The other debt is primarily to grow my
You live
business.
in $1 million house. There you go.
And invest back into my business. I am definitely a credit card girly. I do have about 20 credit cards. I was heavy in the try to be a credit card like hacker. And now it's just because I like having access to extra resources.
First she said, I don't think that is a bad thing. Then she said, I got 20 credit cards. Well, she don't think that debt is a bad thing because that's what allows for her to live in $1 million house.
I grew up kind of poor. I was raised by a single dad in West Oakland, but I went to a very affluent school in one of the most richest neighborhoods in Oakland. So I was surrounded by people that didn't look like me that had wealth. And so I assumed that wealth wasn't for me because we definitely didn't have it.
Nice. She also purchased multiple properties and became a landlord in graduate school. At 25, she owned
My biggest money mistakes in my 20s was investing in real estate and not really understanding what the investment meant.
I tell y'all that all the time. I talked about it in Block Club. I talk about this all the time. People get caught up on house hunters, HGTV, courses, people online, and they're not telling you what's really the real cost and what's happening behind the scenes on how to get into real estate, and it gets y'all caught up and jammed up, and people don't know what they're doing and they lose their shirt.
Not really understanding the cost of home ownership and the cost of being a landlord and dealing with a lot of personalities. And those lessons caused me to have 2 short sales and 2 foreclosures and ultimately have to file for bankruptcy in my.
I see it happen every single time. Every single time. People get involved in stuff that don't know. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they got going on. And they crash out. And people tell people all the time, oh man, just jump into it. Let's do the Bird method. Let's do this. You can become a landlord. You rent out your property, whatever. Fastest way to get your head cracked is to jump into something without really understanding the true cost of it. Because when somebody is selling you on it, they're not selling you on what the, you know what I'm saying, what you truly have to go through. They selling you on the benefits of it. They don't tell you on the other side. And that's how you get your head cracked in. Every time.
20s. In 2015, I had just bought this brand new house and I had 36 windows and they all needed blinds on them. And so I had to borrow money from my sister. And during that time, I was working as a labor and delivery nurse and I was making over $200,000. So I really felt like it was ridiculous that I didn't have any savings. I did not really have any investments. It definitely felt like I was living paycheck to paycheck. And honestly, I did not have an idea before I started on this journey where my money was going. I wasn't tracking my expenses. In 2015, I set out on a mission to take the same level of intentionality that I had in getting all my other degrees into learning how to better manage my money and fix the money mistakes that had gotten me to that point where I was borrowing money to put blinds on my windows. My total debt at that time, with my mortgage included, was around $1 million of debt.
$576,000 for her house, the mortgage that she had on her house. Oh man, freaky Jason. I'm not built like that. I'm not built like this. I'm just saying, bro. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all stomach it. I don't know how y'all take it in. I cannot imagine having $186,000 in student loans. I am not. That's a house. That's a house. I can't do it, bro. I am not built for that. I can't, man. But at least she actually went into something that was going to make her money. And so you got to give her credit for that. At least she went into something that was going to make her money. That's where you got to give it her credit. A lot of people be having $186,000 in student loans, and they have a whack ass degree. They get it in underwater basket weaving. You know what they do. What up, Slimmy? You know what they do. Hold on, let me go. Condo mortgage, $70,000. Car payments, $51,000. IRS debt, $29,000. 403B loan, $21,000. A divorce. Oh, so you was in a relationship with somebody that didn't make as much money as you, huh? You were in a relationship. You were in a relationship with somebody that didn't make as much money as you, huh? This is why women be like, oh, no, I don't ever want to talk to nobody. I can do good by myself because she got that $15K in divorce settlement she got to deal with. Debt collections, that mean that she let some of her credit cards lapse, $3,000, $1,500 in braces. This woman is complicated. This woman got a lot going on, fam. Oh, this was 15-17. This was 15-17. All right, I got you.
So the first thing that I
back to only owning the home that she got. On a 4-bedroom home because she got 3 kids.
So the first thing that I had to change was to figure out actually how to budget. And I used a method called zero-based budgeting. When I mastered that, I was able to, without working extra, consistently put about $4,000 a month towards debt. It was just those little things that we do daily, unconsciously in our spending that just added up. When I was able to figure out my budget, I realized that number one, I did not have to change anything in my lifestyle, but I was now being intentional so that
a lot of people just be buying stuff. That's where all your money be going.
The things that I was actually spending money on actually felt like something, and they were actually the things that I wanted and desired. So as part of my debt payoff plan, I use a strategy called the debt snowball, which is where you line up your debts from your smallest debt.
Dave Ramsey don't get enough credit in life. Dave Ramsey definitely don't get enough credit. Dave Ramsey is absolutely positively the GOAT. He the one that everybody got the debt snowball from. He don't get enough credit. He make a lot of money. I don't think he get the credit that he deserves.
Largest debt based off of the amount of the debt, not the interest rate, the amount of the debt. And you tackle the smallest debt while just paying the minimum on the other debt. Once that smaller debt is paid off, now you have that minimum payment plus whatever extra you're able to put on to that next debt.
Nice. Hold off them houses.
It grew into a business because from there, people asked me to share or brands wanted me.
All right, I get it. But yeah, man, she's very smart. She seems like she's intentional. She just got a lot going on. It's the munchkins, man. It's just the munchkins. It's the kids. I don't know. how y'all able to. I don't get it. I don't get it, honestly. No matter how good at it you are at money, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how much money you make, I can't. I just don't see it. I don't know how y'all guys do it, man. Y'all are the strongest soldiers in God's army for taking on somebody else's kids. That is the most impressive thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know how y'all able to swing it. You a strong man. You're a strong man. Bro, I meet women all the time. All the time. And they seem like they just such good people. Organically, just out and about, kicking it with them and stuff. Hey, what's going on? Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? How's everything going? Oh, I remember seeing you. I met you before, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know if it's just me or what. She can be my baby mama. I don't know if it's me or what. But the minute that they say, oh, I got to go pick up my kid. Oh, yeah? We're picking up a kid. Whose kid? Your kid again? You said your kid? It's like, gotta pick up my kid from my mama house, or I gotta pick him up from her father's house, and all of that shit. And I'll be like, I don't know if I could recommend you for any of my friends. I don't know if I can recommend you for any of my friends. Listen. I'm not saying that you can't find a man and that you're not going to be awesome. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is something that just goes off of my brain. And it's like, damn, you all cute, you pretty, you got a good head on your shoulders, you work hard. That's a hell of an ask, though. That's a hell of an ask. Oh, you know what? I want to bring by, have you meet my son. No. These are my airport headphones. These are airport. You can see the Delta logo in them that they give you in order to listen to the TV. You see the Delta logo right there. No. Nope. That's not what we're doing. We're not doing that. Nope. Respectfully. So there you go, Diz. Look at y'all. Y'all want to control my show? Is McDonald's franchising a good investment? It can be. Absolutely can be. The problem with becoming a McDonald's franchisee is the requirements. You have to have, let me look up what the new requirements are. It takes. What am I typing? What am I doing? I'm not doing it no more. What are the requirements for becoming a McDonald's franchisee? What do I have to have?
To become a McDonald's franchisee, you generally need to have significant financial resources, typically a minimum of $775,000 in non-borrowed, unencumbered personal funds. You also need to complete an extensive training program, be willing to devote full time to the business, and may need to relocate. Is there any specific aspect you'd like to know more about?
Do I have to have assets, or does that have to be liquid as far as that 700,000 plus?
That amount is typically required to be liquid, meaning cash or easily convertible to cash, and unencumbered, so not tied up in debt or other commitments. This ensures you have the necessary capital for the initial investment. Does that make sense?
What are the franchise fees?
There is a one-time franchise fee of $45,000. In addition to that, Franchisees pay ongoing fees like royalties, which are typically 4 to 5% of monthly gross sales, and rent. Are you interested in the total estimated costs as well?
Yeah, what are the total estimated costs?
The total estimated costs can vary quite a bit depending on factors like the location and size of the restaurant. It can range from approximately $1 million to over $2.3 million. Are you interested in a more specific region?
Probably somewhere here in the Midwest, specifically in the Metro Detroit area, Oakland County. I know that the 770,000 plus is what you need liquid, but that's not the total cost. Does McDonald's also, along with the franchise fee, require for you or allow for you to be able to borrow for the difference of what it takes in order to actually have the whole cost?
Yes, McDonald's does allow for borrowing to cover the remaining costs. They often work with lenders that specialize in franchising, and the financing can be based on your financial position and your business plan. The specific terms would depend on the lender and your circumstances. Does that clarify?
Yeah, it clarifies. I have another question though. So when I'm finding financing in addition to the 770,000 liquid that I need in order to get this up and running, I can work with McDonald's specifically, or do I have to go and find my own lenders?
McDonald's has relationships with lenders who specialize in franchising, so they can provide guidance and connect you with potential financing options. While you're ultimately responsible for securing the financing, you won't be going it alone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But I'll never actually own the land. I won't own the real estate. And that is a way that McDonald's allows or controls quality. They also able to control the franchisees from not being able to do what they're supposed to do. Is that accurate? Is that correct?
That is correct. McDonald's typically retains ownership or long-term leases on the property, and franchisees lease it from them. This model helps maintain consistent standards and control across their locations. Are there any other financing or structural questions you have?
Nope, that's all for McDonald's. Did you save my script?
I don't have the ability to save your script like a file, but I have processed and retained the information we discussed about McDonald's franchising. Is there something specific you wanted to revisit?
No, I had a script from 2 days ago. I actually saved the actual script, but I'm wondering, do you save it also on your end? I saved the actual printout of what you provided me, the cleanup of what you processed, but I'm wondering, do you also save it on your end, or when you do the script, do I have to make sure that I download it and save it, and then I go from there?
As in AI, I don't permanently save past conversations in a persistent way tied to your account. It's best to download and save any information you want to keep for your own records. Is there a specific part you're looking for?
Nope. Is it in my history though? You working on that script?
The conversation might be visible in your history on the platform you're using, depending on how it's designed, but I don't have direct access or control over that history. Are you trying to find something specific from our previous discussion?
Nope, that's it. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. If you have any more questions in the future, feel free to ask.
All right. Yeah, I got to test it out. I want to see what the how deep it is, how much information it preserves, all of that type of stuff. Now, this is not Grok. I don't use Grok. I use Gemini. So Gemini allows for me to basically integrate most of the things like my calendar, emails, everything like that. So it's kind of like an assistant that does certain things for me that allows for me to be a lot more efficient and get certain things done. All right, let's see what else is going on. Yeah, Gemini does also. But I went over that inside of the Patreon. Y'all can tap into the Patreon and see what I talked about when I was talking about AI. I got another AI update that I want to share with you guys because I discovered some things. Let's see what else we got going on in these streets. Rent to own plan, Trump homes. We own the money, we might as well stay with the money, right?
Welcome back. Well, open door technology stock surging recently. Take a look at this chart there as multiple home builders are working to implement a quote unquote Trump homes plans to make home buying more affordable for first-time buyers. The program could allow private investors to rent homes to tenants, with a portion of that rent contributing to a down payment after 3 years. It's all part of President Trump's push to make home buying more affordable, urging the United States government to buy $200 billion in mortgage securities as well. I spoke with U.S. FHFA Director William Pulte last week on this program, on that push. Watch.
It's already had a massive impact. The only issue has been that we have the 10-year, which is driving up mortgage rates. So you have two aspects to mortgage rates, as you know. You have spreads and you have the 10-year yield. We can't control the 10-year yield. That's where the Fed funds rate and the Fed share come in. We can control spreads insofar as we have already reduced mortgage rates through the spreads. So we've done a really good job, thanks to President Trump's decision, at reducing mortgage spreads. You've seen refinancings jump 40% year over year. You've seen actually some cases, depending on the geography, over 100% rebound. So we are seeing life in the housing market. It's directly because the president made this bold decision.
Joining me now is the CEO of Open Door, Kaz Najatian. Kaz, great to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, Open Door.
I said the same thing. I said the exact same thing, but I'm gonna tell you how bad rent to own is. Rent to own is horrible.
Is a digital real estate company that buys homes directly from sellers, renovates them, resells them. Tell us more about what you're doing and how President Trump's agenda has actually helped to move that forward.
Yeah, Maria, it's not frequently that corporate executives have to get involved in politics. I'm a business leader. I don't try to talk about politics that frequently. But I do think that America is facing a massive crisis. For the first time in history, first-time home buyers are buying fewer homes, and the American dream is almost out of reach for the average American. The average age of a first-time home buyer is now in the 40s versus the 20s. And I think what President Trump is doing will have a massive impact on making first-time home buyers be able to afford homes. Look, the very cornerstone of this country, 200 years ago, there was a French philosopher that came here called Tocqueville and wrote that the difference between America and Europe and why Americans avoided the road to serfdom was that the Americans owned the ground they lived on. When you own a home, your family has a better future. When you own a home, you're buying a stock in the future of this country. And I think what the president is doing is just excellent work.
Yeah, but we want to know what you're doing at Open Door as well. I know you have introduced new AI-driven products, working to integrate AI in the housing market operations and designed to automate and standardize the customer experience. How is that going? And tell us how it works.
Yeah, look, one of the main jobs we have at Open Door is to tilt the world toward homeowners. And AI is an excellent tool that allows us to do that. Let me give you an example. 4 months ago, before we bought a home from someone, we would have to have 11 people frequently offshore review that home to make sure we could buy it, renovate it, and sell it. Because of AI, that list of people is now down to 1 frequently in the United States. So we can make better decisions more quickly and pay better prices to people who...
I don't even know what he's talking about. All right, somebody says landlording is bad, rent to own is the future. I disagree. I disagree 100%. 1,000%. I disagree. Let me tell you what happens with rent to own, okay? And it's not just with rent to own. It's a certain, land contracts. Land contracts are horrible too. I don't know much about rent to own, but I usually tie it to land contracts because land contracts a lot of times are offered to the person that rented the property, right? So a lot of times they'll ask, hey, can you do a land contract, whatever, so on and so forth, right? And so my thing is, all right, so let's start with the rent to own. Why would I ever offer a rent to home situation when I could just have you rent it? Why would I ever do a rent to own? The only time you ever see a situation where it's a rent to own is when it's in a very, very bad situation or people are desperate for the property itself. I've never seen a rent to own situation in an affluent, great neighborhood. Now, land contracts are horrible because the terms are not bound by traditional situations. It's not bound by, a traditional mortgage, right? You don't have the same rules. Often at times the rules is determined by whatever it is that you read up in the contract between the person that is buying the land contract and the person that is selling you the land contract. And it often at times comes from properties that may be less than ideal, but people are so excited at the possibility to say that I'm owning a home that they quickly sign up for it. Well, what happens is when you get 1 day late, everything that you ever put into it, when you get 2 days late, 10 days late, if you're late just one time, they can take the entire property and it's like you never ever signed a rent to own, or a land contract in the first place. Somebody says landlording is a thing of the past. Oh, well, apparently you're not a part of Block Club. Apparently you're not a part of Block Club. Listen, either you're going to purchase the property or you're going to have it as an investment property. It's either one or the other. It's one or the other. Either you purchase the property. This is what I recommend for people. Either you're going to purchase the property or you're going to use it as an investment property and you're going to rent it out. It should really only be that simple. All of this other stuff, even the type of mortgages that you can get. ARMS is making its way back interest only loan or interest only for the first whatever, so on and so forth, or adjustable rate mortgages. All of this stuff, I'm hearing that they're trying to extend it to 50 years instead of 30 years. All of this other stuff is foolishness, bro. It's creative financing. Nah, I don't agree with none of that. I don't agree with either you purchase it outright, you go through the process, or you rent it out. It should be that simple. All of this other stuff is a way for you to lose your money, lose your shirt, think that you're doing a whole lot, and then you'll ultimately run out of money anyway. Somebody said many new construction master plan communities are going to rent to own instead of outright selling the homes. That's because it's much easier for them to be able to get people in there. And the only thing that they want to do is get things under contract. I'm not going to deep dive into it, Dean Murray. I'm not going to go into it because we already did Block Club last night. If you want to tap into Block Club, I'll show you the receipts. I'll show you everything that's going on. I just showed them a rent check. I ain't even went to the bank yet. Let's see if I can find it. I just showed them a rent check. From the latest property that I just did. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So I ain't even deposited it yet. I got it on the 29th. And I ain't even deposited it yet. So I was just showing them all of this stuff yesterday. Literally was just showing them all of this stuff yesterday because I wanted them to understand exactly what's going on. So if you're sitting there telling me that it's not, then I'm going to tell you you're a fool because I know that you just don't know no better because you're not really in the business. And the amount of money that I make very, very, very passively which I give all of my insight over to the bag chasers, is insane. So if y'all want to learn more about that, then make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. But all of this other stuff, and I don't have no mortgages. Everything that I got is straight out. I own it 100%. I don't owe any money to the bank, all of that stuff, right? So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. But I think that people, when they buy a home, even if you finance it, look to pay it off as soon as possible. Pay off all of your debt, and then when you buy your home, try to pay it off as soon as possible. The problem with people getting 30-year mortgages, and then they say, oh, I'm going to pay it off in 10, I'm going to pay it off in 15. A lot of times that'd be bullshit. A lot of times it'd be bullshit. So land contracts or you must be in that business. Land contracts or agreement for deeds is helping people who traditionally can't afford a mortgage. Do you know what the percentage of people that actually wind up completing a land contract and owning a home? Let me see if AI can tell me this. Do you know the percentage of people that actually complete and own a home outright that initially got the home under a land contract?
Reports suggest that a significant percentage of land contracts don't end in the buyer completing the purchase. Some sources indicate that the failure rate can be quite high, potentially around 80%. This can be due to various factors, including payment issues, unexpected costs, or the structure of the contract itself. Are you interested in specific reasons why land contracts might fail?
Yeah, tell me some of the specific reasons.
Sure. Specific reasons can include the buyer not being able to obtain a traditional mortgage later on to pay off the contract, or unexpected costs like major home repairs that the buyer can't afford. Sometimes the terms of the contract themselves can be unfavorable or difficult to meet, leading to default. Did you have a particular concern in mind?
Nope, just wanted to double check something. Thank you. So I don't listen to people that just say stuff. I know, but see, this is why we have these conversations. This is why we talk about this. This is why I need to go through and help y'all to understand why we need to move a little bit differently. You cannot just take people's word for stuff. I'm going to read the Cash Apps and the Super Chat shortly. You can't just take people's word for stuff. You have to do the research yourself. I like to do the research before I present to you what you should and shouldn't do. I actually do more than the research. I am invested. I participate in the process. I build homes myself. I own it. I rent it out. I do all of these things, and then I show y'all my failures in the Patreon. I show y'all my successes. I show y'all my contracts. I show y'all my rental agreements. I show y'all all of the numbers, and I show y'all everything. So when you see people with no profile picture just say wild, random stuff, I love to interact with the chat, but sometimes I see that as an opportunity to present people with more information so that they can make a more informed decision. That's why you trust me. That's why my bag chasers love me. Is because I would never tell you to do something that I wouldn't do myself. I would never advise for y'all to jump into something that I wouldn't do myself. I wouldn't even advise for people that put out land contracts to do it because I know that that is one of the most predatory forms of lending. It's predatory. And people put together those contracts the way that they do, knowing that people are ignorant. They're going to sign anything just to say that, hey, I own my own home. That's what really happens. It's predatory. And people prey on your ignorance. They prey on your excitement. They prey on the opportunity to get money and then take it back and then own it completely. But it's a way for them to make more money from you. You know what I'm saying, Heather? We at the 3-hour mark. I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. Y'all the ones that determine what happened in the show today. Y'all the ones that enjoyed what happened at the show today. Let me read some of these cash apps, some of these super chats, and then I got my concierge doctor coming to the office today so that I'll be able to get my checkup. Fellas, make sure y'all get y'all checkups. I've been putting mine off because I've been flying in and out of town, but I'm back at the crib and I'm locked in and we working. All right. You love the show, Osriel. I love you too. John Teal says for the collection plate and the offering. Thank you, John Teal. Rand Wilson says defensive end Keon White shot outside of Dahlia. We'll talk about that tonight. I also want to give a shout out to Mr. Joe says, oh yeah, I went over that. Shout out to Mr. Joe. Great question. Maybe I'll start taking more questions on the Millionaire Morning Show. The more I like flies says you should mimic the CNBC format, but use select bag chasers and have Slimmy film it. It's just a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? LYP Speak says, and she paying the ex-husband. I know several women that got finessed in a divorce. Sean 619 says, yo, what's good, my guy? Maybe I'm late, but you've talked about this. But when you getting back in the studio with the white millionaire? Oh, shit, don't say that. Because now you're going to have the people on my head. Hopefully this week. That's the goal. Dean Murray says, I'm not going to let you outwork me. If you know, you know. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Shout out to the people that was tuned in last night to Block Club. All right. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We have after hours tonight, and it is going up. I am going to holler at you guys later. Peace. Stay focused, y'all.